every one of you listening to my voice.
Don't be afraid.
No. Be afraid.
What was that?
I have never seen anything like this before.
What unearthly horror did that girl gaze upon?
Those people were killed by something.
Get on the phone, call for help!
This is tonight's second feature. I am your host, James Hewitt, and I am joined by my co-host,
Rhys Strang.
This is a movie podcast. Hey, you got it this week, where we look into the movies, B-movies, into the madness of them, and talk about our thoughts and opinions. Rhys, would you like to announce our first series?
Sure, and I'll do it in the theme of the series, James.
Ooh.
That's right, folks. The Silent Spectacular. As you just saw on this audio medium, we played a little movieola, a Nickelodeon, if you would, of me in a grand central station as the train rolling towards us as we announce the new series. A bit lost, because we are audio, so all that money that we spent, I think we spent about $1 million on that little promo there, James. Bit lost.
Well, when I was thinking about doing Silent Spectacular, I was like, you know, all the other movies we cover, I can insert clips of dialogue and dramatic action and quippy lines.
But this will just be like generic scores that were written 20 years after.
It's just like do 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 do.
Yeah. We'll you know we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we probably should have thought about that before going all the way to New York to shoot that little train section.
Yeah, that was that did backfire on us.
Yeah.
Especially try and shoot it on film in a box camera.
Yeah. Oh well, you live and you learn.
You live and you learn. Well, what have you been watching lately, Rhys?
I just came from The Devil Wears Prada 2, which I love the first Devil Wears Prada. I think you find it fine because you hate women.
Yeah, let's not make that quite known as widely yet.
James, everyone knows it.
Yeah.
They look at your face and they're like, this guy fucking hates women. I mean, like, you were just complaining to me about women for the past 20 minutes.
Out of
before
context,
recording.
that sounds horrible.
In context, it sounds horrible.
Well, if the listeners could put themselves in my shoes,
Yeah.
they would understand, Rhys.
Well, you were just complaining about the women who were going to see Devil Wears Prada 2 at the cinema, and they're out here.
Rightfully so.
Fierce women are going out to see the pictures, and you're complaining.
Well, I will.
Because you wanted it to be a male-dominated industry.
I will lie in bed comfortably knowing that none of our listeners will be the upper 1% of New Zealand who actually attend the cinema I work at. They're not listening to this podcast.
That's true.
Yeah.
It was great. It was really great. I had low hopes. I think everyone thought that the trailer was bad, looked bad. It was kind of, it was just really
flat,
really indicative of current movies, especially with the flatness of the lighting. It looks better in this cinema. I thought it looked pretty good. I think they might have readjusted the colors and boosted the saturation a bit. It definitely doesn't look great. There are some aspects, some scenes that are shot. I think I'm guessing it's emulation film that are much more handheld, much more contrasty, and have a lot of grain in them. Those looked really good. But that's not really the point. I thought that the film was really fun. It has,
but that's what we need at the moment, though, right? Like we just had Project Hail Mary come out.
Yeah,
that was the kind of optimistic,
well, this
feel good
this
boost that we needed.
Film.
Okay.
This is so the first Devil Wears Prada is about kind of your first steps into real industry, right? Like coming out of college, getting a real job, feeling that weight of work and the satisfaction, but also the burnout of work as a young person,
Right.
and also, sticking to your ideals. I think a lot of us in our first jobs, um, in our specific industries, feel that we're kind of giving away our morals a bit,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Like, oh, I'm
Correct.
working for this really disgusting company, but hopefully, if I work and I do good work and I push through, I'll be able to be in a position that gets me where I actually feel.
Like I deserve to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
deserve to be, and also
Mhm.
it's a very moral, a good moral company, and that's how the first Evil Web Prada ends. Is she pushes through, she throws away the glitz and the glamour and starts again and goes into a more moral industry, quote unquote moral industry of journalism, and the second film is about how the world is falling apart and how making a deal with the devil, which is sort of the idea of the first film, is the devil is Prada. You make a deal with the devil to get rich and famous and to be fulfilled in your work,
Yeah. Yeah.
but at the cost of your morals. In this film, it is better to make the deal with the devil than to make a deal with a soulless machine, because at least you know where the devil stands. That's the entire thesis of the second film. Is there is that jobs are just dissolving, that capitalism got to such an extent that even the big jobs in these industries are getting dissolved away. And so even if it's not a moral position you're taking or a moral job, you kind of need to take it because there's no other option, um, which is fascinating, and pretty realistic, I think, to most people.
Yeah, I would
Um,
say so. That's an interesting
yeah,
spin to take on
it's
a
it's really
sequel.
it's
Yeah.
really interesting, and I think those ideas are much more interesting than the actual film. The film itself is nice and fun and good, but thinking about the film and what the film is about outside of the context is actually much more interesting.
In which case, I don't think a lot of the targeted demographic are gonna step away and think about
Well,
the.
I don't know. I think that's not giving the audience the credit. Yes, I kind of agree, but that's the case for most movies.
Mm.
Most people that come away from Heat think that Heat's so cool and want to be, most people that go away from movies, they want to be Patrick Bateman.
Yeah.
But that's not really for them. If they weren't going into this thinking about it, it's not really the film's job to cater to them. They're not going to anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
if you go to an art gallery and you're not thinking, it's not the art piece that needs to get them to think. They kind of need to, it's a tango,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, The Devil Is Prada, it's so interesting that Anna Wintour, who is what the main character, or not the main character, um Meryl Streep's character is based off, is a horrible person who allied with Jeffrey. Oh no, not Jeffrey Epstein. The Weinsteins, who
Oh, so
she is a very disgusting
lovely
person.
lady.
But it's yeah, the film is like, it's better to have those people than soulless capitalistic machines that will throw you at the dogs for no reason just to get an extra 2 cents. Um, and yeah, it's a fascinating question. Would you rather? I mean, we've talked a lot
Yeah. Yeah.
about Golden Age Hollywood, right?
Yeah,
And we've had so
precisely.
many conversations of like, I wish I was back in Golden Age Hollywood
We.
so that we could have a job, so that every day we could go to work and be gaffers, right?
Yeah.
Which is not a glamorous job. But we would love
But
that. We
I-
would love to have a place that we go every day and we do a job and we do it well and we do it what we love, right?
Yeah, but it's also a case of, I think, the fantasy of stepping back to that decade
yeah.
is definitely more glamorous than the reality.
But yeah, of course, the reality is that that time was
Yeah.
full of, a lot of abuse, in every sense
Yeah.
of the word. A lot of racism, homophobia, blah 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 blah, X and Y.
The wazoo. Yeah.
And it was probably a terrible time. But I would take that time for what we have now, where no one can get consistent work.
No.
And yet everyone's still being treated like shit. So it's not like no one has consistency, but everyone's in a better work state. Everyone has less jobs and is still being treated like shit, but it's just under a different veneer. We're using HR buzzwords, and we're doing double speak and therapy talk to kind of shadow abuse that was more upfront back in the day. And so that's what The Devil Wears Prada 2 is about. It's like, yeah, in this time, in this day, you gotta hope to be under the boot of the devil. That's the best option, is to keep your head down and go into these disgusting places, because at least there's something.
Well, that's the reality of what I feel most days in
Yeah.
the current environment I'm in. It's part of a corporation where year by year, in its young existence, it gets greedier and greedier, and the work conditions get worse. But it's like, what else is there?
Yeah.
Out there, and where I am, if I do just keep my head down and eventually get to the top, the situation will become better. It's really disgusting.
Yeah, and back in the day, you could hope that you would then move into an industry that's more just.
Yeah.
But now, back in 2006, the worst option of success is now the best option of success.
Really sad.
It's
It's a really grim way to
it's
start
really
off
depressing.
our episode.
And Devil Wears Prada 1 has a sort of a dour but also uplifting ending, whereas Devil Wears Prada 2 is just a flat out happy ending. But when you actually look at it, The Devil Wears Prada 2 is a very sad ending. And it's great. Like, all these thoughts that were bubbling in my head while watching it, I was having a blast. I mean, you have four great, incredible actors. I mean, any of which would get us to the cinema. Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt, Stanley Tucci, and my favorite, James, Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh.
My boy, Kenneth
your
Branagh.
favorite detective.
But yeah, any of those four, and then Kenneth Branagh 5, would get us to the cinema.
Yeah. And
And
those names alone, the
those
star
are
power.
great names,
That's
great
crazy,
actors,
yeah.
and they're playing slightly trashier content in comparison to the first one. So it's like, this was a great time at the movies. I had a really good time at the movies with this one. I could not look away. I was having a great time, which in a way is all that matters. Is all that matters.
Well, they got you back to the movies. I mean, it's not hard to get you back to
No,
the...
it's not hard. It's not
hard to
no,
get you back to the cinema. You're there every day.
Well, speaking of the cinema, we should talk about the spin-off article, right?
The spin-off, yes, we should. So, a journalist by the name of Tom Augustine, he, about a month ago, he stopped by my work and he was chatting to me about doing an article on...
you actually got to talk to him?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was chatting to me about doing an article on New Zealand or Auckland cinemas, and I asked him, what is the article on? And he said, I don't know. I don't know if that's a...
Journalistic freedom at its finest.
Yeah, so I don't know if he just didn't know, or if he was just obscuring what it was actually going to be about. Let me see if I can bring it up.
Yeah, and to give some context, for one, me and James go to the cinemas, probably 100 times a year?
Oh, probably more. Yeah.
Probably more. We've both worked at cinemas in Auckland, and we know many people that work at most of these cinemas, either casual acquaintances or close friends who work at these cinemas. We've spent many hours at these cinemas, and also we are in the end stage of production of a documentary documenting New Zealand cinemas.
Independent silver.
So we are probably in the top percentage of people that have opinions.
We
and
know a thing or two about New Zealand cinema.
which is not in many stages of life that is not a useful degree to hold. But in this one time, we are actually sort of experts.
It's crazy because if this was a ranking of every New Zealand cinema, we
could clean house.
we could clean
We could
house,
clean
man.
house.
Yeah.
But Auckland weirdly is probably one of our. We know a lot about Auckland cinemas, but probably not as much as we should.
No, I mean, I have been to, I want to say,
I think most of these,
a majority of these
Yeah.
cinemas.
Well, a lot of the list is Event and Hoyts, which honestly, Event and Hoyts, very little difference between
Yeah.
most of these places. It's really dependent on when the place was built and where it was built. Determines how good they are.
And a lot of these, like the Takapuna, that was originally a Hoyts owned cinema. So it's a lot of them are, as you said, just Hoyts.
A lot of these, like the bottom of the list is Hoyts, Hibiscus Coast, which I don't think I've ever been to, but it's like it's a Hoyts.
You know what to expect.
Yeah, I don't prefer Hoyts. I prefer the events. So really, most of those are like. The Hoyt Sylvia Park was at 26.
It's
I
deserved.
don't like that one.
It smells like piss half the
smells
time.
like piss a lot of the time, and the structure is really
And
bizarre.
I tell you, walk in, it's like, where is everyone?
It feels like they restructured it like 7 times.
What else have we got?
But
have you been to Event St. Luke's?
Yeah, we've been.
Have we?
Haven't we? Didn't we see TMNT there?
No, that one is West City.
Right.
West
Okay.
which is not at a favorable position. It's 28.
Yeah, makes sense.
It does make perfect sense. Yeah.
My home cinema 3 Pukekohe, which was huge when it opened, because it was before that you'd have to travel all the way to Manukau to see the movies. So that was huge for us. Is at 22, not that great. Which is kind of deserved. They did a weird restructure recently, which really took a lot of the heart out of the place. But I think I told you this when I first went there. After they rebuilt the place, they kind of gutted the place and rebuilt everything. That the seats were way too low.
Yes,
That my knees were curled up, like I was in like a little baby chair, and that is noted in the article, which is but
so I mostly agree with the.
It's a good list.
Let's talk about number one. I would disagree with number one.
Because number one is the Hollywood Avondale. I think it got it because it's a given.
It's the filmmakers church. They screen 35mm presentations most months.
They do marathons. They get
it's owned by filmmakers.
It's owned by filmmakers, and a lot of filmmakers go there. And we've seen plenty at the Hollywood. But
they have early previews there.
They are the industry default. If the industry needs anything done, they do it at Hollywood. And then maybe they do it at Academy. Then maybe Capitol. Then maybe Lido or the Vic. But Hollywood is the default for any letterboxed early showing. But they're just so inconsistent. It's because there's such a big boy and such a famous one that they barely show anything.
For me, it's like if you're only screening 4 films a week.
They barely do that though.
And for me, at inconvenient times of the day, I just can't. I just
really
can't
far away
work in
too.
my. I can't. It's purely selfish of me. I can't work in my schedule with this.
But also the train closes probably 90% of the time. The movies finish after the train stop.
Yeah.
So it's like and there's no parking there. It's a real pain to get there.
It is.
The
it is.
seats are really uncomfortable. The place can either be boiling or it can be freezing. The food is fine. I think we've got popcorn there once and it was
It's
terrible.
mid. They
It was
don't
terrible
they don't serve
popcorn.
Coke or Pepsi. It's the
It-
other off brand. Calmer.
Karma Cola,
Yeah,
which I think I described as melted ice blocks. It does. It tastes
That's
like melted ice
terrible.
blocks.
Yeah.
But it's really, you're going there for the atmosphere, the history, the events.
It does feel special going
I
there.
love going there.
Yeah, it's great.
But personally, mine is Academy. Not helped because I worked there for a year. So I love going there. Academy got number 3.
I would agree with you. I think I would put that as number 1 because their programming is
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's Hollywood, but they play 5 to 6 movies a day, and they're always different.
It's great. You could show up one day, they'll be playing 310 to Yuma. You'll show up later on that night, and they've got Tarantula on.
Yeah.
And they've got
It's so
Begonia
good.
on the next day.
And then
Superman.
they'll have the $5 Wednesdays for
Yeah.
big movies. It's incredible. It's incredible. The big problem is that the seats are just toilet seats at this point. They have no padding in the middle, so they are just a ring of like a donut shaped ring
If you're
of
doing
padding.
if you're doing a marathon, bring
Which
a
we
cushion.
have done.
Yep.
That doesn't even help a lot of the time. It's really bad. It is really bad. But I love Academy.
It
So
feels
good.
special going there.
It's so good. But also,
Love it.
parking is a pain because it's Auckland, of course. And just that it's like 3 floors down in the heart of the earth. A sanctuary, if you would. But number 2 surprised me because we've never been there. The Matakana Cinema,
Yeah,
which is a cinema I only found like 3 weeks ago, just because I was in Matakana doing work and I passed it.
I couldn't even
And
tell
I was
you
like,
where it
"Whoa,
is.
what do you know?"
Where is Matakana?
It's pretty far north. I was surprised that it was even considered Auckland, but I mean, I guess we got to go there. It's a very fancy, very upscale place, but we've never been there. Though your cinema, James, did
My
not do too
cinema.
well. Though,
Capital sitting at number 5. I don't know.
no,
I don't know how to feel
It
about
is simply
that.
because the place is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is such a beautiful cinema, but they play 4 movies a day, and
Not even that.
they are terrible. They are terrible movies. Not the fact that the movies are bad, but that
It's such a beautiful location to be playing
they'll just be playing
Super Mario Galaxy.
yeah.
What are we doing
So
here?
they're not even playing like the great new release stuff. They're playing stuff that came out like a week ago. They'll be playing like Michael there, and I'm like, I don't want to go there to watch Michael. I want to go there and watch Heat. I want to go there and watch the original Godzilla. I don't want to go there and watch Devil Wears Prada 2. No.
For that, I'll do that at an event. I'll do that at Silky.
Yeah.
I don't need to be there. Yeah.
I just came from Silky Takanini. That's where I watched Devil Wears Prada. That's probably my main cinema at this point.
I would say that's a well-deserved spot. And
I love it. I love Takanini.
I'm glad Rena got a shout out.
Yeah, our friend Rena. So she took my order for Devil Wears Prada, and I told her about this, and she was pretty happy. So I've got to send it to her. She really
That's
got
awesome.
a bit happy that she was mentioned in that.
That's good because I told Tom when you go to Takanini,
You gotta talk to
look
Rena.
for
She
Rena.
is-
She's the one.
Yeah, if you guys ever go to Takanini, Rena is just a joy.
I've never before met anyone who works in customer service that could keep that level of energy up for so many years.
Yeah. She loves it.
She just loves
it.
she loves movies and loves
She
the
loves
energy.
people.
She loves
She
people.
loves people.
And that's great. You need people like that.
But number 10, Waiheke Island.
It's great.
Which is probably one of our favorites. Though we've never seen a movie there. We did interview
one of the curators.
Yeah, because it's a community cinema.
Yeah, one of
the owners.
I guess he used to be the projectionist. Matthias.
Yeah, Matthias.
We can't get his name straight.
Yes, Matthias. Really apologize. He's great. He was awesome. And that cinema was really fun.
We'll be
Really,
going
really
back there
fun.
soon.
Yes, yes. They showed us because they normally, instead of ads, they show short films that are made on Waikiki Island instead of ads. And they showed us one, probably one of my favorite
That
shorts
was
I've ever seen
great.
about the nudist beach on Waikiki Island. That was a lot of fun.
Honestly, I was expecting the films to be
Bad.
with all respect, bad.
Well, yeah, because they
but,
give cameras out to kids. And
like
they
the
film stuff.
5-year-olds,
But
yeah.
they were really fun. They were really awesome.
And I love cinemas like this, and it's very common now that a lot of them are so community focused, and that's how they stay afloat.
Yeah.
It's really it was awesome.
Now, I think the last thing I gotta say is Event Queen Street. Simultaneously, the best and worst cinema ever.
Agreed.
It is ranked number 8. I think it is the only true IMAX in New Zealand.
Yeah, only true
Though
IMAX.
I think I heard a story that Hoyts is putting more IMAXs in Australia and New Zealand.
I have a feeling, and I call bullshit on this. I think they're going to be Limax, like the one that's in Wellington. You're not paying for a 70mm screen.
Oh no, yeah, I think they said it was crystal projection, so but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, sure, it's great.
Although it will be by 2029, so still a bit far away. But Event Queen Street, if you've ever been, is a ghost.
It's a ghost town in there.
It is like going to Silent Hill or Resident Evil. When you enter and exit, especially if you enter in the morning and exit at the night, it is so spooky leaving there at like 10 p.m.
It's really, I get so much nostalgia walking in there, and I get really sad because I remember the days around the early 2000s. I would walk in there, it was a bustling mall, there's a food court, there was convenience stores, there, like, the place was alive.
And now it's just the bowling.
Yeah.
I
hadn't been in there for like 5 years. And then,
people still go there. A lot of people still go to the Queen Street.
a lot of
the screens are bad.
They're terrible.
A lot of the smaller screens are just like left to rot. There's some really good screens, and that's where they'll play the good stuff. But if you're going there to see, like, I watched Chainsaw Man there 3 times. I watched Chainsaw Man there 3 times. And it was always at the same screen. Because it was just like, okay, and it was, you know, down at the bottom of the list of movies they were playing. So those kind of movies they just chuck in the back. They're like, if someone comes. It's going to cost us nothing for someone to go in there.
We have a screen, we need to fill it.
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man.
Which is great. I think that's the best part of Event, is that they have so many screens. How many do they have? 13? 15?
12, I think. But there's so much real estate there.
12
oh, yeah,
and
so
IMAX.
13. Yeah,
And then Gold Class, right?
Gold Class is the downstairs.
Right.
cinemas.
So 14?
Yeah, I've been in their Gold Class, and it's
not bad.
It's not bad. It's falling apart. It's falling apart.
But they have so many screens that they can play anything. Like, if you go and look on it, they will have probably, normally at any time, they'll have 2 blockbusters, 2 minor films, 2 horrors or anime films. Then they'll have probably 3 Indian films. Then they'll have like a re-release, and they'll have something that came out like a month ago. So they have so much variety.
That's great. And that's why I love Event, is they know where they stand.
Yeah.
They know
they're populous.
Yeah. They know who they are, and they know that we are still going to show up even though their screens are
This writer described it as a hotel ballroom full of ghosts. It is great. But yeah, the IMAX screen is great. We've seen Oppenheimer in there. We've seen Godzilla in there.
One thing I will mention, Event Cinemas, their best cinema where for sound quality. They never fail me. Even when their picture is faded, the screen's flickering, their sound is undeniably perfect.
Yeah.
I really applaud them for that.
Yeah. Not much else on this list. The Lido got a number 4, which was a bit surprising to me, but I love the Lido. It is an old person's place. If you ever go there, it is like a retirement village.
You will run into your grandma.
So nice and so sweet and so lovely. It's a weird layout, but they're just so comfy there. I don't. You've been there once.
So that was to watch
for Wolves Come at Night.
Yeah, Wolves Come at Night,
which was a
yeah.
documentary for the New Zealand International Film
Yeah.
Festival.
But that was a great experience. Even when it's packed out there, everyone's so lovely.
Yeah,
You never
yeah.
feel like
It's
you're
so
crowded
nice.
in a building because
No.
everyone's so courteous.
Yeah, the first time I went there was for Pride and Prejudice. Probably one of my top 20 cinema experiences. That was so nice, just seeing Pride and Prejudice on those cute little seats. All these grandmas, you pass, it's a kind of place where you have chit chat, because, even if a grandma's passing you, she'll say something.
Yeah.
Because, old people, they love to talk.
Love to talk.
So they'll give you, they say something and you'll say something back, and it makes it feel nice. Whereas other cinemas, sometimes I've gone into events and Silkies and even Academy without saying a word to anyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's kind of impossible at the Lido, because there's always going to be a sweet little grandma, who's scooting past you and be like, sorry, it's taking me a bit longer than it used to. And I'm like, that's okay, grandma. I did have this sweet interaction with I think it was No Other Choice, the Park Chan-wook film, which is a brutal horror thriller, a great film. And I was watching this, and this old lady who needed a cane, who was hunched over, who was at the end of my row, sat up, and I had to stand up and stand aside for her to pass. And as she was passing, she looked at me and she said, the movie is a bit longer than I expected. I'm like, that's okay. That's okay. Do you need a hand getting out? She's like, it's fine. I'm like, that's nice. And then someone gets shot in the head and tied up with tree branches and massacred. That's so cute. It's
That's
so lovely.
so adorable. It reminds me of when I went to go see John Wick spin-off Ballerina with my grandma, and she's sitting in the front row, and it felt like I was sitting next to a giddy 13-year-old as someone gets blown in the head, and my grandma's like, oh my goodness, isn't that violent? She loved it. She came out with the biggest smile I've ever seen on anyone's face.
Yeah,
it's adorable.
Old folks keep cinemas alive.
They do.
We know that for sure. And they're always pretty lovely.
They are some of my favorite customers.
Though sometimes they can be the worst customers.
Oh yeah.
They can be real annoying.
Real annoying. They can be quite needy.
I was when I was watching Complete Unknown at event in Queen Street, there was just a man behind me who was just talking through the movie. And I asked him to be quiet. And I think when I tell someone to be quiet, I'm a bit tense and aggressive.
Really? I wouldn't have known.
Because I reach a boiling point. If I'm saying shut up, it's for a good reason. But he just kept talking. I think he was a bit not all there. So I had to move. Because he just continued to talk as soon as I turned around.
Me off, man. Yeah.
It's no fault to him. It was his family who brought him there. I'm like, it's hard for me.
Tough ground.
It's the same with kids.
On there. Yeah.
Where I'm like, I love kids, but they're noisy motherfuckers. Really, what pisses me off is adults, full-on adults, not teenagers. Teenagers are stupid, and we all know that. But adults on their phone and talking I want to just shoot them with a big gun.
Oh my
big
goodness.
gun.
The one thing I notice is that it's never the kid. The kids are messy.
Yeah.
Middle-aged adults are the messiest customers I come across, and
they're entitled.
And it's really sad. Every time I walk into a movie to deliver something, who's on their phone? Oh, yeah. Yep. That's always the adults. Always the adults. I'll tell you what, the teenagers who come to the cinema are really nice, really courteous.
Yeah, they're always so lovely.
They're never on their phones.
That was the great part about Academy, is that 90% of the people that went there were young students that were coming from AUT, and they were,
well, there's a resurgence at the moment. Of, our generation, Gen Z going back to the cinema.
But that was always so lovely because sometimes I would do a shift and then I would come and pick you up from your shift, and you would be like, these fucking middle-aged people would just be hammering me because like the popcorn I gave them had like 2 less popcorns than their mates. And I'd be like, well, all of my customers were so lovely. Like, I'd have so many times when someone would spill like a small bag of popcorn, they would come out to me looking like, like a kid who put their hand in the cookie jar, and be like, I'm sorry, mister, so I spit the popcorn. Can I have a sweeper to sweep it up? I'll sweep it up. I'll clean it. Don't worry. And I'm like, no, it's my job to clean it up. That's, it was so sweet
That
that
is
so many
adorable.
young people, they would be so shy and so lovely that even just spilling 2 popcorns, they would be like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, that's fine, man. It's like it was a real disparity when we would talk about it.
Yeah. The contrast
Yeah, the
was,
contrast
was
is
crazy,
great,
eh?
which is
Yeah.
also why I love Academy, because you just get so many young people that just love the movies, and yeah. But I think we should move on from the cinemas.
Yes, yes.
So I have been continuing April Across Africa, and I think we talked about a film the other day, Lady of the Train,
Yes.
and we were talking about the director. And thinking back, we were chumps. We did not know ball. We were amateurs. We were children. I was a child back then,
A week
a
ago?
week ago, because I did not know ball. I did not know this guy's game. The director, Youssef Shaheen, very probably butchering that. He is the GOAT. He is so good. So I watched 2 other films after that, Cairo Station and Return of the Prodigal Son.
Can we just
Oh
talk
my
about
god.
Cairo Station?
Have you watched it?
Yeah, I watched
When
it.
did you watch it?
I watched it not long after you had logged it.
Right.
Yeah, because I
Cairo
was
Station.
no, I was
Yeah.
like, I can't just watch one movie from
Yeah.
April Across Africa. I've gotta watch at least one other film.
There was a good one. So yeah, I watched Lady of the Train, and I see this is like a weird film. I thought it might
Yeah.
be like a real hamstrung film by the censors, and I watched these 2, and I watched some interviews, and Shaheen, oh my god, oh my god. Talk to the people about Cairo Station, James.
Man, what
It is your movie. It is so a
It's-
movie for you.
what can I say about Cairo Station? It's a very cinema verite, gritty drama. It's
a thriller. It's a noir.
It's noir. It's I loved the characters. I loved the setting. Like the whole setting of it just featuring around a train station in Cairo is perfect.
And it's sexy.
That's
the thing with these Shaheen films, is that they're sexy movies. They have women that love to be sexy, and they have couples that love to be sexy together and love to be in love with each other, which is not what you would expect from an African film, right?
No.
Because a lot of these films are about more subjugated women, and especially a film that's in Arabic, that you'd think, okay, everyone would be a bit more tame. And that's what I've gotten from a lot of these other films. I just watched I'm Not a Witch, which is a whole film about like the subjugation of women. But these films are sexy, and they love women. They love how sexy women can be.
These women are badass, man.
They are badass, and people and the guys love it, which is amazing.
It turns them on.
It's so good. It's so good, and it deals with that very pointedly in Cairo Station, about desire and about mental illness, and about the relationship between men and women. It's so good, and it's so Western. I think if there is a point to get into African cinema and Egyptian cinema, which is it seems very huge. Unbeknownst to us, it seems that Egyptian cinema was at one point the second biggest in the world, even after Indian.
It's quite amazing to
Bollywood.
me. It's quite
Yeah,
interesting, because it's
You never hear about it.
Well, and it takes so heavily from Western thrillers, noirs,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
at the same time, it's its own thing.
And
It's
these films mashes up so many different genres. You can tell that this guy loves Western films, very similar to new wave Hollywood directors like Coppola and Scorsese. You can feel that they love those old movies, but this is at a time when those movies were still going on. Shaheen was making these films, still back in the days of Hollywood,
Yeah,
but he was
50s, yeah.
making, he was making the Goodfellas and The Godfather, but back when Hollywood was still at its peak. Which is mental. It's mental how ahead he was and how he still doesn't lose sight of it being an African and Egyptian film and it being from that culture. Nothing gets lost. It's everything at the same time and nothing gets missed.
I wonder if Academy has ever played one of this guy's movies.
100%. 100%. We
they-
just don't know ball. I'm
Yeah.
sure that people who actually know ball are listening to this being like, these guys are fucking idiots. They don't know nothing.
This guy,
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we knew him. We knew him. But yeah, I watched The Prodigal Son, which I think is my favorite. That one's just insane, man. That one's so insane. That one was very much similar to Black Narcissus, one of our favorite films. Powell and Pressburg. I believe it's Powell and Pressburg.
yeah, Powell and Pressburg, yeah.
Where it's just from the outset, it seems like just a big drama, a lot of people, a lot of interconnectedness. But the more you go, the more insidious it gets. It was so good, and it just mixes all these genres. So you get musical sequences and all of these, and you get romance, and you get thriller, and you get I mean, oh my god.
You're just hashing this guy
this
at
is
this
exactly
point. Yeah,
this is exactly why I did this, because I knew that there was some absolute fucking gems that we were missing just on the surface of
There's
Africa.
some diamonds in the rough.
Not even in the rough. They're just fucking sitting out on the freeway, and we're missing them, just because they're from a continent that is not well documented for us, in our societies. But please, if you're gonna get into African cinema, Shaheen, Cairo Station, that's probably the perfect place to start.
Cairo Station is, once I got a taste of that, my lust for this guy is like, oh man, I need to put aside some hours to actually lock in and take in some of his other work.
Yeah,
it's so it's beautiful, but so disgusting. Cairo Station. I felt so gross watching it, but a good gross.
Yeah, what would be a comparison? What would be a Western film in comparison?
Something like
I'd say like a Scorsese.
Yeah, I was gonna say something like a mix of a Scorsese and something like not necessarily
of a
the big
Hitchcock.
heat. Yeah, Hitchcock.
A bit of a Vertigo.
Yeah,
in a sense.
Again, like a mix of a lot of,
but it's like grounded
powerful
too. So
filmmakers,
yeah,
yeah.
it is.
But it's
like
also got, like,
Alfred
some-
Hitchcock, but grounded.
because it's also very like cinema verte. It's got like a lot of French New Wave and
It is, but it's still so bombastic.
It is.
and crazy.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I'm looking at a photo of this guy. He looks adorable.
he looks. What a cutie
It's
pie!
kinda- it's
What a
kinda-
cutie pie!
It's kind of like Scorsese. You look at him and it's like, how could this guy make
Yeah, make
Goodfellas?
this vile films.
How could this guy be telling Joe Pesci to stab a man 50 times in the heart?
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Well, I think maybe we should dive into the film this week.
Dive into the film this
We've been
week,
talking
yeah.
for almost an hour at this point. Whatever you're gonna cut it down to,
Yeah,
because this is the start of season 1 in
season
Silent
1.
Spectacular, and it's funny because you said, when I asked you, I don't know if I asked you on air or not, why you chose silent films, and you're like, well, a whole point of why we did this is so that we could document and make podcasts about movies that not many other people talk about, right? That don't really get the spotlight. And we're doing silent films, and I'm like, doing silent films on an audio only medium, maybe that's why no one does them. You know? When you think about it.
I did think about that, yes. But I had to stick to my guns. I was like, these the first film we're going to be touching on isn't exactly. I mean, it's a very well known movie. But the next two films we will be covering, I've looked up on Spotify, have not been covered.
Oh,
or at least one of them. One of them hasn't been covered. Yeah. So I was like, yes, I found a gap. Do you know what the first silent film is that you've watched, Rhys?
I'm trying to look it up right now.
Because for me,
if you just fucking wait for a second, James, give me a goddamn second.
For me, I think the first silent movie, putting aside 3-minute George Méliès pieces, was probably Napoleon 27, Abel Gance's.
Oh my god!
Picture that, Rhys.
That is, I think that might be.
Picture that, a 6-hour silent movie is your first introduction to the world of silent cinema.
Yeah. I think that might be the case for me.
Was it Nosferatu?
Yeah, it might be Nosferatu. I think it is Nosferatu. Which is a great film.
Well, both of them are great.
Yes, well, yeah.
Abel Gance's Napoleon, Nosferatu, they really do push to the limits what is possible with having no sound, just using a score to accompany it.
I think we've seen probably the top of the pops of silent films. I think we've both watched Caligari.
Yeah. And
Sherlock Holmes Jr.
Haven't seen that.
No.
I have not seen many, actually.
City Lights.
Yes.
We've seen some Buster Keaton.
Some Chaplin. Yeah.
Napoleon, of course. We both watched Metropolis when they re-released that.
Fritz Lang.
Joan of Arc. We've both watched Passion.
No, I haven't. No. You've seen more silent films than I have.
Yeah, well, I just know I'm just fucking cool like that.
You're just calling names out. Yeah.
Hacksin is probably one of my favorites, which is, I describe it as the first ever YouTube video essay, because it is just like, I think it's like an hour and a half of just a guy who is documenting witchcraft. And so it has voiceover, but in the sense of title cards. So it's not there's no character talking to you. It's
no vocalization.
It's literally the director, his words written on a card, being like, this is what I think, this is what happened, blah, 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 blah. So it is, in a sense, a documentary and like a video essay. It's so good. I love Hacksin. It's and the director himself plays the devil in the movie.
When was that one released?
That was released 22.
I see.
1922. The same year as Nosferatu. That, I think, Hacksin out.
Benjamin Christenstein.
Yeah. I think, not Nosferatu is my favorite, and then Hacksin.
The Mysterious X. I want to watch
Hacksin is so good.
And
but yeah, I don't think I'm looking at the ones I've seen, and outside of the post sound silent films like Flow or Begotten.
Have you seen that? Again, I think it was a Weinstein-backed one. The 2012 Oscar.
No.
I think it was 2012. Might have been a bit later.
Best Picture winner. What was it called?
It escapes me. I've seen it. God, why is it not coming to me?
Yeah, as soon as you said it, I just lost from my mind.
I want to say it's just called Silent Movie.
No, that's the James Brooks film, I think.
Yeah, the name escapes me, but that one was great. But part of it now, since it's a modern silent movie, so it's very made just to capture the nuance and the nostalgia of those early movies. There's not really much to it. It's not a very complex movie by any means. I forget the name.
It's really hard to search. I have it. I think I got it.
The artist.
The Artist.
The artist.
Such a
Yes.
terrible name.
That's
I have a copy of it. I'm just like, I don't want to watch that movie. That looks really boring.
I rated it very highly. I actually don't.
Yeah, but you're pretentious. You're a pretentious prick.
I love classic Hollywood.
You're just a cunt.
I'm a cuck for early Hollywood.
Yeah.
Anyway, shall we get into the synopsis?
Well, I gotta guess what it is, James.
Yeah, after I give you the synopsis.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
thought you mean like the full synopsis.
Oh no! This is my
bad, sorry.
although I mean, if you don't get it after this one, I mean, have a
Okay.
feeling you'll get this anyway. Okay. A young man recalls in his memory the horrible experience he and his fiancée Jane recently went through. Francis and his friend Alan visit an exhibit where a doctor shows a somnambulist and awakens him for some moments from his death-like sleep.
Is this Cabinet of Dr. Caligari?
Yes. Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
I'm not a huge fan of Cabinet.
You're not a huge.
Yeah.
I thought you rated it relatively
I probably
highly.
did. I think I did. What did I give it? I gave it an 8. 8 out of 10. But there's a weird twang to silent films of this era. I think mostly because the people who made them were fucking losers. Because I mean, you have to be if you're making movies back then. Fuck man, you got nothing on. You're a bit of an odd case. It's a lot of these films have a weird twang to them about, especially the women in the movie. Yeah, it's a no bueno. Yeah, they just got an odd cadence to them. It's just an odd experience watching silent films, but it's probably the most famous silent film.
It's one of the probably one of the first horror films and first German expressionist movies.
Yeah, we'll need to get into the history of horror films.
I don't know if now is a good time to really get into.
Well, I haven't had much time to prepare, James.
No, of course. But let's get into the director and the cast for a moment. Talk briefly on them. So we have these are German names, so I don't speak German. Robert, it's either Wien or Wien. His credits are The Hands of Orlok, Genuine, The Tragedy of a Vampire, and Crime and Punishment. Again, I think a lot of these guys I have some distaste because they went on to make films in Nazi Germany.
Yeah, they were in Nazi Germany in the 20s.
Yeah, it's a rough one. So yeah, our top bills are Werner Krauss, who did Tartuffe, Waxworks, and Joyless Street. We have Conrad Viet, who did Casablanca, Napoleon, The Man Who Laughs. Man Who Laughs was a contender for this week. Friedrich Freyer.
Really see that.
Friedrich Freyer, who did Night of the Rose, and Lil Dagover, who did Tartuffe, Phantom, and Destiny. I think you might have seen Phantom.
Which Phantom?
I
I don't think so. I haven't seen the silent Phantom film. Phantom of the Opera.
Destiny. I think you've seen one of these. It might have been Destiny.
Destiny.
I feel like I saw you had. Let me look. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. Lil Dagover. No, sorry. I thought you had seen Destiny. You've logged it.
No.
That's Fritz Lang.
Oh, Phantom, not Phantom of the Opera.
Just Phantom.
Phantom.
Just
Okay, I thought you were
Phantom.
shortening it.
No.
That's a huge thing that I push against. That makes me a bit sad. Is that silent films have probably the fucking coolest posters.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the poster for Destiny and Phantom and Caligari. And I'm like, these are the coolest goddamn
They're
posters.
These feel relatively modern as well.
So cool. And a lot of them were original.
Yeah.
Not a lot of these are like redos. At most, maybe they were done in like the 30s. Or the 40s. But a lot of these are semi-original. But they're so goddamn cool.
But I
They're
mean,
so goddamn cool. But the movie, you know,
the
you
movies
get such a cool,
themselves,
and you watch the movie, and you're like, yeah, well,
it's cool. I mean,
sure.
Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, the poster is very, very surrealist. It's very,
Yeah.
its visual style is so cool.
You know what it might be? I have watched Dr. Mabuzu's.
Oh, yeah.
But this is the original Dr. Mabuzu's, not the Testament by Fritz Lang. So that might be where you got confused.
Yeah, well, Fritz Lang was originally set to direct Dr. Caligari.
I wish you had. Maybe I would have enjoyed it a bit more.
Okay, I'm just looking
I
at
own this movie? What the fuck? That's the problem with having a collection of like almost 700 movies, that sometimes you just go onto like a movie and you're like, fuck, I own this?
You know,
Who
sometimes...
told me this?
Sometimes I go to watch a movie and I'm like, I swear to God I own it. I swear to God I have Brendan Fraser's The Mummy, and I'm looking up and down. I'm on my feet. I'm on my tippy toes looking at the top of the shelf, and I'm like, man, maybe I don't own this movie.
Yeah, the amount of times I've watched a movie on Netflix and then gone to Letterboxd, and Letterboxd is like, well, you know, you own this, right? I'm like, oh, god damn it. Why did I fucking buy this? And it's the one time I use it, I'm not going to actually use it.
For me, it's always the movie I found at an op shop.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I think I bought this at an op shop. Yeah, Caligari.
Something really sad. The guy who plays Dr. Caligari, this gives me the ick. He played he went on to star in a lot of Nazi Germany films.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Ugh. This guy, no, thank you.
That's I mean, that's the huge problem with these German expressions, especially Nosferatu. But it makes them a bit more interesting because Nosferatu is so clearly racist against Jewish people. You know, it's a hook-nosed rich person coming over, bringing rats and plague. So it's
not subtle. It's not subtle.
It's so clearly like racist in that sense, even if it wasn't intentional. But 77 minutes.
It's a blessing.
Thank God.
And I'll tell you why I picked a 77 minute.
You're busy this week.
I'm busy.
I'm busy this week.
You know why I didn't pick?
I got shit to do. I got fucking bands to collect. I got bills to make.
You know why I didn't pick The Man Who Laughs? Because that baby's like 130 minutes or some shit. I don't know. Budget here, we're talking $18,000 USD back in the day, or 200,000 today, which would translate to 20,000 German marks.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, considered one of the first-rate horror movies, first film in the German expressionist movement. And once it made its way to American audiences, it would then go on to influence a lot of noir movies, of course. And as I mentioned, Fritz Lang was originally going to be directing this. When was the last time you watched this film?
I think first and only time was a couple of years ago, I think. Maybe it was last year. Let's see.
Was it last year?
Yeah, 2024.
Oh, no way.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll enjoy this a bit more this time.
I really enjoyed this movie. Purely, I mean, you know, I'm not a story guy. You're a story guy. I'm a tech guy. I'm a look, a tone, feeling kind of person.
Yeah, that's not really for me.
This movie is it's oozing with everything I love about classic Hollywood. You know, deep shadows, crazy set design. Melodramatic performances by crazy German actors. It's
those crazy Germans.
Those crazy Germans. I had a great time. I did watch a 1998 restoration done by the Berlin Film Society, I want to say. So they went and they recomposed a score. They redid the title cards, same style, same art design, but they redid the title cards in English. And I rewatched that. So I did not watch it with the same score. But I'm guessing your copy probably...
It's probably an old one. I think probably from the 2000s.
It may have been... It might have also been the same one I watched.
Maybe. Well, that's the thing, is that a lot of these movies you can find on YouTube, and a lot of them are just varying of quality, but also of like some have color tones over them. Nosferatu, you can find it with color tones over the
Same,
film,
yeah, same with Dr. Caligari.
and
Yeah,
some without color tones. I prefer to see color tones.
because it
It's
adds,
just fun. It's just fun.
because it sparks a little visual interest in your brain. It's
Yeah,
like-
and it actually makes it look like something is happening,
Yeah.
and there's different locations.
'Cause these early movies are it's very much just like you're watching a stage play.
Yeah, they're very much
yeah.
just recorded stage plays.
Yeah.
And also they'll have different scores and they'll have different title cards. Sometimes you'll, on the worst occasions, you'll get a silent film which has the original title cards from like Germany, and they'll subtitle the
Yeah,
the
I know,
cards. I'm like,
yeah.
come on, man, what the fuck are we doing? I don't want to have to read subtitles.
It's crazy because you're
It's there. It's right there.
It's
Just
there,
give it to
man.
me.
Yeah. No, I totally get that, which is why I watched the remastered edition, because I didn't want to read subtitles on top of German titles.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
I don't know, man.
I have a rough enough time as it is.
Yeah, okay. So, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is our movie for this week.
Please be warned, spoilers are ahead. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari was released in 1920 and would influence a new era of post-war German and American filmmaking. At a carnival in Germany, Francis and his friend Alan encounter the crazed Dr. Caligari. The man sees Caligari showing off his somnambulist Cesare, a hypnotized man who the doctor claims can see into the future. Shockingly, Cesare then predicts Alan's death, and by morning his chilling prophecy has come true, making Cesare the prime suspect.
It's not really a chilling prophecy. He did it.
It came true.
It's not a prophecy. I think that's just a bold-faced lie. You know, I could predict that you'll get kicked in the dick, but if I'm the one kicking you in the dick, it's, you know, you're not a soothsayer.
But is Cesare aware he's going to be committing the crime?
No,
He's
that's
not,
True, that's
he's
true.
not.
I guess.
He's not. What's at the top of your notes? How many last film you said you had like 4 notes?
I had a bit more this time. Not as big as the others, but the first note I have is that this film is a huge inspiration for some of our favorites. Burton, Lynch, Fritz Lang.
Or the surreal filmmaking greats?
Yeah. And yet, I don't really care for this.
You gave it a reasonably favorable review, though.
Well,
is that out of respect, or
in a way? I think we've said before that I'm not a huge. I don't really care for the technical aspect of films. That's not really my jam. I don't care what fucking lens you use or the techniques to inspire such awe, but I'm a story guy, and I watched it. I'm like, yeah, it's beautiful, but I got that from a couple screenshots. You don't need to watch it to actually get the feeling of Caligari. Like, what scene in this movie makes you go, "Whoa, damn"?
it's
That you couldn't get from looking at, screen
it's not a
caps.
movie where I really need to rewatch the entire film to go, wow, that's some incredible art design.
Yeah.
That's some really incredible lighting, set pieces. I don't need to rewatch the whole movie.
Yeah. And that's why I gave it the decent review, is that it is a good film, but it's so gorgeous. But what else?
Yeah. I mean, in my notes here, a lot of them are just really about the set pieces, the structure, because this film is it goes by chapters, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Acts, right?
Yeah, acts. Yeah, I don't know.
Which don't really matter.
It doesn't matter, but
I hesitate to say that any film needs acts.
no, but
Have you ever watched a film and be like, wow, thank God we had the second act?
yeah, but a lot of movies now, right, have taken from that through
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
right? I watched The Northman the
Northman, yeah.
Yep, that is set up in a chapter structure.
Yeah, well, that one kind of makes sense because it's based off literature, and weapons would be the one
Mhm.
that stands out to me. But that actually like needs it, and you kind of need the act structure with weapons. But like, what is the difference between Act 1 and Act 5 in this film?
I suppose because it's pre sound, they kind of need the act structure to set up transitions over to another.
But do they? They
another
do it
point in
pretty
time.
well. The transitions in this, I, I can't even put my finger on what any of the acts are, where they delineate between Act 1 and Act 2, Act 3 and Act 5.
No, I can't. Does not come to mind where
It's a
they
bit of
where they
flair.
stand. Yeah,
It's a bit of flair.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I watched last film I watched in theaters that had a chapter structure was Exit 8. That that kind of lent itself to the to how that film is set out. You kind of need that structure.
Yeah. But this is a pretty standard narrative in the grander scheme of things. Even back then, it was pushing, but not, doesn't break the mold.
No, not at all. No.
A lot of text, and I think the great silent films are films you don't even need the text for. The text really is the killer of every good silent film.
Yeah. Especially a lot of these movies, I don't care to be watching as my main feature. I have it on in the background when I'm editing or writing something. Right? I never really lock in and watch a silent movie. But a lot of them, like I watched Faust the other day.
Oh.
That movie, you don't even need to pay attention to any of the intertitles. You can just have it on, and you kind of just by glancing at it get the structure, you get the story.
Yeah, I think inherently the intertitles are a break up the pace.
Yeah,
They kind of kill pacing because inherently you have to show the person speaking and how long they're speaking for. So inherently you're doubling up on what is being said.
A lot of the time, I wonder because they're not really saying, because in the editing,
saying the dialogue,
they could be, whoever's making the intertitles could just make it up, or
I guess so.
A lot of the time you look at what they're saying, and I'm like, when we cut to the intertitles, I'm like, you did not say 3 lines in that sentence.
Yeah.
It really breaks it up. But the titles themselves, they look incredible, and unless you watch the American version.
I watched the original German, so I watched German text with subtitles, which was a fucking pain. It was a real pain, especially because it was on YouTube. I was out of town and I just watched it on YouTube. Oh my god, man, it was such a pain.
Like
because you have the text right in front of you, but it's German.
Yeah.
So you have to look at the subtitles, which they're YouTube subtitles, so they're pretty crap.
You should have watched the 1998 remaster. They did, because they actually take the intertitles, and an artist actually recreates them digitally, and they edit it in, and it looks really flawless.
Yeah, but the problem is I'll probably have to pay for that one.
No, you can.
Because that's the good and bad of silent films, that I don't think any of them are not in the public domain now. I think they're all in the public domain.
Yeah.
So you could just get them on YouTube, or you could get them on these. We got a DVD copy, a really rough DVD copy, of Caligari right here that I bought from our university.
Have you watched that one?
No, why would I?
Because that was going to be my next question. Is that the 1998 remaster?
I believe this would probably be not. I'm guessing this is just a shit rip of the old fair use
Yeah.
editions, because I don't see any logos on here that I know. I think this is just a piece of shit copy. Oh no, it's from Eureka. There we go. It's a Eureka copy. So maybe
Maybe it
I'm
is. Well,
I'm
and
not gonna see. I'm not gonna try. We'll leave that to the mystery. That's the mystery. We'll have a little mystery box.
but the remaster though, they created a new score. I mean, I don't even know if the original has a set score to it. But they recreate the score, and that's much better, more sinister.
Maybe the one I watched was similar because it had a great score. Did the score you were listening to have sort of sound effects in it?
Yes.
Because in mine, when he goes to light one of the street lights, they have a little ding sound for the street light going on. They have incorporated like sound effects in the score.
Yeah, that's I think that is
It might be the
one
same
I
then.
watched. Yeah, or it might
Maybe.
have been the same score put over the old version because
That's the real roulette. If you go on YouTube and you look up any silent film,
yeah,
there'll be 3 or 4 different versions, and each version is, one might be a slightly better quality of picture, but the score will be terrible.
one of them's tinted,
One
the
of
other
them's
one isn't
tinted, one
tinted.
of them's not, and so it's a real roulette table of, because it's not even which one's better, it's which one do you prefer? Because
Yeah.
for me, I prefer tinted, and I prefer like actual title cards that are in English.
Yeah,
What about you?
That's what I prefer, and I want. Let's be honest. Movie scoring has evolved over time.
Yeah.
And I would rather a more modern score be cut into a 1923 version of whatever movie, like Nosferatu, for example.
Yeah.
I just think we've evolved since then, and we can create scores that lend themselves better to old films. Yeah. But the set pieces though, like the shadows painted on the set, the surreal imagery of the rooms just bending and warping, that's incredible. That's incredible stuff. It's really cool. Oh, a little tidbit about the title design though. We don't actually know who created those.
Oh, we gotta get down to the bottom of it, James.
Yeah, we've got
we gotta figure out this mystery
dig
person.
into it. Yeah.
That's the thing about fandoms, that you'll watch like an episode of Power Rangers, and if you're like, who was the second boom up on this random Power Rangers episode, I'm sure there are a bunch of fucking nerds out there like us that would have found it out. So I'm surprised that no one knows this person.
But we do know who did the title design for the American version.
Well, I don't give a shit about the American version.
The American version is so shit. The title does the titles are just like a Buster Keaton style text wall.
Okay.
It's not that clever. Yeah. Right.
How dare they? How dare they?
How dare they?
The tragedy. They're butchering the cabinet of Dr. Caligari. We got to take this to Congress, James. I like the little Mickey Mouse gloves Caligari has. If you see, he's got the little white gloves, but with the black stripes on them.
I saw
like a little Mickey Mouse, which I found was very cute and very adorable for a killer.
He's like a pre-Walt Disney murderous Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Mr. Walt Disney himself was not too estranged from the
the
ideology of of 1930s and 1920s.
We'll
Germany.
get into that later on. We're gonna explore. Let's just say there's a certain dictator's name that's gonna pop up a few times.
Cool, very cool.
Yeah,
thanks, Kanye. Very cool. Now the crux of the film is the somnambulance.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Cesare.
Now, in any other movie, I'd be like, yeah, cool. He's
got like a little puppet boy, and he sends him off to do, like a golem.
Yeah.
Send him off to do spooky work. But then we get the scene of him feeding. Sorry, what's his name again?
Cesari.
Cesari. I'm not gonna remember. I don't really know. Cesari. We get a scene of him feeding Cesari, and it made me think: does Cesari poop? Does Cesari
Well,
pee?
he's been in a coma for a long time, and he's semi-conscious, right? He's
Yeah,
semi-conscious. Maybe there's a little poopy hole at the bottom of the coffin.
Right,
I don't know how he pees,
right.
but maybe he's a little poopy hole at the bottom of the coffin.
Maybe he's like a little spit roast, like a little, like a, like a little a kebab roll, and he's just rotating.
Kebab Cesari.
Kebab Cesari, so he's rotating, so when he needs to pee, he just needs to time it. Comes a little game, I guess. But then, what does he do? Does he brush his hair? Comb him, give him a bath?
He looks in pretty good shape.
I would not be asking these questions, but they show that he feeds him. So where is that food going? Why show me the detail of him feeding him if you don't want me to ask the deep, hard-hitting questions? Does Cesari poop? I need to know, goddammit. And we see he's a horny boy. He's a horny boy.
Well, he went to go murder Jane, but he holds back.
What a surprise.
Yeah,
I was on the edge of my seat.
Beauty caught him.
We'll get into women in silent films later, but back to Cesari. So, does he have a dick? It's a form-fitting suit, ladies and gentlemen.
He does not have a dick, but we'll talk about the actor who played him later.
So I'll just talk about the women now. I hate how women are.
They're like, oh my
god, I hate them so much. I've watched a couple Buster Keatons and Charlie Chaplin's.
They're just swooning objects.
They are so lame, which is a part of why I say that most silent films are not that great, because they're made by fucking weirdos. Is added by the fact that these are how they portray women, is that they are so like incel coded, that they are just bags of sexy meat, and their only response is to be hounded at by masculine men. And when the sheeply little boys come in with their artistic souls, they're like, please love me, beautiful nameless woman. And they're like, whoa, that's actually a good idea. I didn't like Hunk Man. Get out of here. And then we live happily ever after. They're so fucking lame.
It's kind of indicative of how they saw women in the time, right? You don't have any rights.
It's horrible. It's
not aged
don't
well.
Have them. Just don't have them at all. There's a film, let me just look it up now. The Phantom Carriage.
Is that an F.W. Murnau film?
No. The Phantom Carriage by Victor.
My favorite director, Victor
Schurstum. Schurstum? And that's a great film. It's got some really spooky shit. But the main romance is so gross. The whole plot is just this man who's down on his luck and is homeless and is just a fucking cunt. It's an absolute dickhead. And this woman who works at a homeless shelter keeps giving him like the opportunities, like giving him food and blankets, and he just keeps being a fucking piece of shit. And he looks like he's 20 years older than her. And we get all the way to the ending, and it reveals he's like, why did you give me so many chances? I was so horrible to you. And she's like, because I loved you. I'm like, I want to throw up. It was horrible. It was terrible. I just wanted to like go in there and fucking mangle his face in. It was disgusting.
That's like in Faust, because Faust is an old dude. He's like 80, and he then embodies a 20-year-old guy, and
Yeah.
he's in the entirety of like the third act is him chasing after this young, probably underage woman.
Bro,
and
what
then
made you guess that?
and then in the climax, she flips around and is like, "Oh, I've got to save you. You've been so wonderful to me. I don't care. You're an old man." And it's kind of gross.
Mm.
It's kind of gross.
And that's why I really like stuff like Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. Is because the original Nosferatu, the what is her name?
Lily Rose Depp.
Yeah, her character. Yeah, Ellen.
Mm-hmm.
In the original Nosferatu, can you remember anything she does in that film?
No,
She doesn't do anything.
I'm sure she does nothing.
She does absolutely nothing, which, I mean, to be fair, that's what Dracula normally does. Most adaptations of Dracula just rip out most of Mina Harker's dialogue, even though she is a very integral part of the book. But and in the Murnau Nosferatu, I give it a bit of lenience because they're already in love. There's no waning romance or anything.
Mhm.
It is a monster trying to, you know, get the girl. So I give it a bit more lenience than something like the Phantom Carriage. But in Robert Eggers' Nosferatu, I mean, Lily Rose Depp is the main character through and throughout. She has the most interesting scenes,
Yeah.
personality. She is the best part of that movie. And I think that's it just really shows how shit those women were in the old movies. And it's probably the reason why I don't like watching silent films anymore. I gave them a fair shot.
There's that itself lends to the really gross feeling you kind of get when you watch these silent movies. You know, I feel really, really unsettled watching them.
There's just a really creepy
Yeah.
aspect to them, and not in a good way.
Especially a lot of these have like really pale faces.
Yeah,
Of not just the woman but the men too.
very ghostly.
Yeah, it's very ghostly. It's haunting.
Which I think to certain people could be a benefit in a way. I could totally see it being a benefit. And if you see like how like colorized photos of black and white films, there's a very specific sort of makeup that women used to use. Like they'd have like blue lipstick.
Yeah, yeah.
And all that, and like the original Addams Family set was like a bright pink, just the way stuff showed on black and whites, which for Caligari and films like that, it really shows where Burton got his style.
You can see some very heavy influences there.
Yeah, I mean, this is very heavily inspired Edward Scissorhands,
Yeah, of course,
very
famously.
clearly.
Yeah. A lot of the set pieces throughout his movies. And I mean, I think it's important now that we do go back and look at these movies, remake them. You know, Robert Eggers.
Yeah,
You know,
how
I
many?
think it's important.
I mean, how many silent films were out and out remade? Not films that were readapted, like Frankenstein, but that were remade specifically based on the silent films. I wonder.
I don't think I
don't
could
think there's
name many
many.
off the top of my head.
Probably because they don't have a lot of foundation in anything that needs to be adapted. Like
No.
Caligari, you don't need to adapt Caligari. You just need to take the style and the look and the ideas.
Yeah, which when we get to talking about the remakes and reboots of this movie,
Mhm.
there are a few there that do take very heavily from the style and the aesthetic of this movie.
Yeah.
I won't say they learned anything from. I won't say they learned anything, but they certainly took a lot of heavy inspiration from the style. Yeah. They use so many iris effects.
Yeah.
This is back in the day where every scene could end with a circle closing in.
Yeah,
on the frame.
Windows Movie Maker transitions, but it's charming, and I think they do it great. I like the transition to the circus being in town, and the final transition at the end when Caligari, his backstory,
Mhm.
the flashback, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about the framing here? Because originally,
Yeah, the original writers didn't like it, did they?
no, they originally did not have the what is it,
Yeah, the framing
the
device
framing device,
of
the
it
framing device.
being
Yeah,
a story being told to a man.
yeah. He
Um,
wasn't insane in the
now,
original story.
what film did I suggest having this framing device? That it would all hokum.
Hokum.
I suggested that it would
You
all
suggest
be
it for every movie.
revealed that it'd be a dream.
But what if it's a
But
dream?
what if it was a dream?
That he's in an insane asylum?
He's in an insane asylum, and the villain is actually the
And now,
man and
Rhys,
who runs it.
what film took this idea and mastered it? The Ward.
I thought you were gonna say Shutter Island, but yeah, I guess the Ward. It all leads back to the
you know, The Ward, Shutter Island, two films in the same league, right?
yeah.
Two
I guess-
masters
I guess
of
so.
their craft
Oh my lord,
up against each other,
pushing the boundaries,
pushing the boundaries of
cinema.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We can move on from The Ward pretty fast there. Yeah, but you know, a lot of movies you do are heavily inspired by this. You know, we've
Is
got
this the first film that had the "Oops, it was all a dream"? We're in a
sure,
asylum.
I'm gonna say
think
it's
it's
one of
gotta
the
be, right?
first. It's one of
Yeah.
the first.
Yeah, it's got to be one of them. Which I'm sure if I was back in the 20s, I would have shat my pants.
Yeah. Well, this is one of the
Hopefully on a on a kebab spit roast.
this is one of the films that mastered the psychological horror subgenre, really, because we don't have many films or horror films coming out early 1920 that really
Yeah,
are
yeah.
similar
Well,
to this.
there's the thought that I think some people believe that this is the first horror. And okay, so
there is some truth there.
I have dug into that rabbit hole a lot. It's it's a very hard statement to make. It depends on your definition of horror. I think the first that you can technically call a horror is the Infernal Cauldron or the Haunted Castle. But it's so broad because
Yeah.
those films, they're not actually there to scare you.
And those films were just playing with
There are a lot of jump cuts.
it's a lot of jump. Yeah, it's
And like the spooky thing is that there's a skeleton, a
Yeah.
bleached white skeleton swinging from side to side. Not really shit your pants on a spit roast
yeah.
scary.
Whereas this is more of a psychological horror. You know,
Yeah.
those aren't really. I'm gonna get to the core of.
Yeah, it's
anything.
almost an impossible statement to make because then you also have to think of, well, does short films count or do they have to be features?
Yeah.
It's like if anyone has a definitive answer of what is the first horror film, they're kind of bullshitting themselves.
It suddenly turns into a very philosophical question, like what is horror?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. So I mean, I tend to argue this is really the first horror and
Well, that's because you're a chump.
yeah. No. Is there anything else in your notes before we want to move on?
How did he shower him?
Anything?
No, like running water or anything. So like he has to bring a bucket from the well.
Does anybody shower in this movie, or did anyone shower pre 1930?
Yeah, that's why all the shadows had to be painted on because all the stink lines were messing up the lights. Oh shit, man! These lights are going all over the place. These stink lines are messing them up. They're refracting them everywhere. Screw it, we'll paint them. We'll paint the damn shadows. but also the doll. Because then after he gets searched and he finds the police officers find that the coffin has been replaced with a doll of the Smambulance. And I'm like, did he sew that? It looks really good.
It looks incredible.
It looks great. Did he take the time to to sew a very accurate replica of his henchman?
And yeah,
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, great. There we go. We can move on.
maybe he's a sidekick.
Oh, so he has a second Smambulance that sewed him and fed the first. Right, but then who bathed the second Smambulance?
Another Somnambulist.
Shit, okay. It's a pretty small box for 4 people to be living in.
These are some tiny ass rooms, man.
But then it reveals that, yeah, he lives at the... I don't know why I'm complaining. It's all a dream.
It's all a dream.
But then did the person who is clinically insane imagine that he sewed a doll, a life-size doll, and that he was feeding the Somnambulance? Why would he put that detail in?
I think you're looking too deep into it.
I don't think you're looking deep enough. These are hard-hitting facts. No one's asking these questions.
Really getting to the core.
It has
Maybe
been-
there's a reason
It's
no
been
one's asking those
106
questions.
years, and I'm getting down to the fucking nuts and bolts of this bitch. You're like, ooh, look, there's fucking paint on the walls.
Ooh. Rhys, Detective Strang here is
Yeah.
about to get to the bottom of it. Right. We can't really go any further without addressing that this film was one of the first. Again, you can argue it's not the first expressionistic uh, horror, right? But many people do cite it as such. So, what is the definition of expressionism? Well, it's an artistic style in which the artist seeks to depict not objective reality, but rather the subjective emotions and responses that objects and events arouse within a person. Simply put, it's a dramatically enhanced depiction of reality. Visual characteristics of German expressionism include exaggerated, boldly designed sets, with sharply painted on shadows and heavy makeup. It stood out from the realism of films typically made around this time in Hollywood. The movement did not start in movies. In fact, it started at the turn of the 20th century in modern art. One of the most famous paintings associated with this form is The Scream by Edvard Munch. In such a funny name.
I think it's Monk.
Is it Monk?
Why would it be Munch?
I thought it
Edvard
was...
Monk.
Is it Edvard Munch?
I don't know. I don't think we're the people
Are
to
you
ask.
German? In 1905, a group of students calling themselves Der Bruch, or The Bridge,
Damn liberals. Damn liberals.
created art that shared a lot of the same stylistic appearances as Caligari. The name Bruch, or Bridge, reflects these artists' youthful eagerness to cross into a new future. Their idea was to create a simplistic artwork that with unusually strong contrast to provoke an emotional response. The Bruch artists worked together communally until 1913. Max Reinhardt, the owner of the prestigious, I can't even say that.
Do it.
Uh,
Do it. Say it.
Duchess
Whoa,
Theater?
James. That was so ungodly racist. Why'd you even say it? If you knew it was going to be that racist, why'd you say it? Say it again.
In Berlin, encouraged experimentation with lighting and set design and introduced many daring new trends, and thus modern art and theater combined to form this distinct style that we recognize as German expressionism.
Yeah.
I should have cleaned up on my Duolingo before this episode.
Well, yeah, you always hear German expressionism, and the works that they show is Caligari and then maybe Nosferatu. What else is there? I don't even know. Like, you just assume Caligari and some other fucking films, but
Metropolis?
Right.
Faust?
Did Metropolis come out after?
Metropolis was 27. That is actually considered towards the end of the expressionist movement, right? But Faust, what film you mentioned earlier, the Phantom Carriage.
Right.
Really, anything made in Germany between 1920 to 1927 is
Right.
considered part of the expressionist
Okay,
movement.
because nothing is as stylistic as Caligari.
Oh, of course
so
not.
that's what I was
Well,
looking for, I guess.
I believe that's because Caligari was really the set pieces were made because they were on such a tight budget
Mm.
that going forward they
Which is crazy
took the idea and yeah,
that they made this on such a tight budget. I- It just blows my mind that you can build these sets and be so beautifully made in such a quick turnaround.
yeah. Well, it took them only took them a couple of months to shoot this movie.
Yeah, I think the director, he made another film this year, right? In 1920.
I'm not sure there. Not
Let
sure.
me look it up.
Not sure that why you are looking that up.
I think he did. Yes, he did.
He did?
Genuine: The Tragedy of a Vampire.
Oh, look at that. Well, with the rise of
Actually,
the
he made multiple.
well, that's
he made a fuck ton of movies.
that's the thing. This is back in the day where you could pump out 3 features in a day. Take you a day.
That's the dream,
And you
baby.
got 3 Oscar-winning feature
That's
films.
the dream.
That's the dream.
And you did it with old black and white silent film cameras. Fuck.
And
that's hard.
You didn't need to really direct the actors. You could just say, Toots, give me a spin.
Yeah, you'd be smoking a cigarette or a giant, huge cigar, basically eating it. You'll be munching on it so much that you're basically eating it and be like, and turn there. That's good enough. Roll up.
The poor cam op is there winding the camera.
Yeah, we put it. Sounds pretty easy for the director. I guess for the actual technical people, they'd be fucking running around.
Nightmare.
Their souls would have been the soles of their shoes would have been run into tar. They'd be going so fast. Because imagine, you had to like pull focus and actually like measure, like back in the day where you had to measure out focus.
Someone pulls out a measuring tape on a set now. It's like,
I want to do that.
What?
That'd be great. Real power move. You're doing like a shoot for a real estate company and you pull out a fucking measuring tape. That's a power move right there.
I don't think that's a power move. I think they're just gonna get angry.
Yeah, it's a power move. You gotta look for the blowback.
Sure. With the rise of the Nazi Party in the 30s, the majority of these filmmakers fled to America due to a lot of them being of Jewish origin. Amid the hardships of the 30s depression, the strongly contrasting shadows and dark themes of German expressionism led to the creation of a new genre.
Nazi propaganda? Sorry, I zoned out there.
Film noir.
Oh, right, of course. Yeah, well, Fritz Lang, he's like the king of film noir. That makes a bit more sense.
Trying to keep him on his toes.
No, I mean, that is true. Like, the great directors of Germany that stayed in Germany became propagandists.
Yeah.
And I think most of the footage we have of Hitler and the Nazi Party are from these Nazi propaganda films.
Yeah.
There's a famous female director, I can't remember her name, but she filmed most of the marches. If you just give me a second.
She in your letterbox?
I think I found it. Yeah, Lean Riefenstahl, I think is how you pronounce it. She did Triumph for the Will, and a lot of those big Nazi films.
Big propaganda pieces.
Yeah,
I mean,
she filmed the Olympics too.
Oh, yes, yeah, 1936 Olympics. Yeah, I mean, they even tried to remake the Titanic at some point during the war as well.
True. Now, James,
crazy.
I don't know if you have this written down, but do you know when the Nazi Party was formed?
Nazi Party was it 20? sometime around 27.
It was 1920,
20?
February 24th. Now, when was the release of Cabinet of Dr.
Ah,
Caligari?
yeah, cover. Yeah, that was
1920, February 26th.
26. Yeah, wow.
This film released 2 days after the official formation
That
of
is
the Nazi Party.
crazy. Damn.
I'm sure there's some fucking guys out there that are gonna, actually, this is what Wikipedia says. But that's crazy. Like, I thought it would have been a year or two, but of course that's like the formation.
Yeah,
That is an
it's
action.
not necessarily.
I don't know when
when
Hitler
Hit-
joined.
yeah, I don't know when he got
I think
involved,
Hitler
eh?
joined a couple years after.
Yeah,
But
but
that's
yeah,
insane, eh?
that's crazy. Hollywood picked up a thing or two about shooting on low budgets. The stylistic lighting, cigarette smoke, and downtown LA set pieces led to smaller budget productions. So the sad reality is that Nazism helped create one of the most iconic film genres. But we'll get more into noir in another series.
Oh, never mind. Hitler joined before it actually became the Nazi Party. So it was the Workers'
Oh,
Party,
I see,
and then
I
they
see.
reformed into the Nazi Party.
I
so.
see. Yeah.
Anyway, back to the guy that poops and needs to be cleaned up.
German cinematographers, though, such as Karl Fried, his influence also extends to the establishment of the sitcom style. Actually, he
Heil
his
Honey,
little-
I'm Home, the iconic sitcom about
he
Hitler.
actually popularized the idea of multicam setups with studio flat lighting.
Have you actually seen that? Have you seen
No.
Heil Honey, I'm Home? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think
So
so.
Heil Honey, I'm Home is a sitcom that ran for like half an episode. That is a sitcom about Hitler and Ava Braun. I'm not joking. This is not like a gag. I'm looking it up now. This is like real.
This is crazy.
Yeah, 1990.
What?
I've seen like the opening clip of it. I'll just show it to James
That's insane.
right now. Actually, I'll see if I can pull up the opening scene, and we can watch it here. Okay.
Live in the studio.
Heil Honey, I'm Home, full uncut episode. Let's see if I'm gonna guess we're gonna get an ad and someone's making money from Heil Honey, I'm Home. Yeah. Playing
How have I
right
not
after
seen this? I can't believe this is real.
Getting some preludes.
Text? Ugh.
Let's get a closer.
Gee, it's great to be Top Gun, but it's nothing like the fun that I get when I say Heil Honey, I am home. Heil Honey, smile. Gee, it's great to be back. Heil Honey, I'm home.
This is satire, right?
He said the thing. He said it. He actually said it.
Heil Honey, me. Oh, tonight you were making schnitzel. What a jerk. You must be real mad at me, honey. I'm a very, very bad Hitler. Come here, babe. Don't touch me. You've been late for your dinner every night this week. Ava, babe, please. I'm the Fuhrer. I'm a busy man. Can't just walk
Ava,
out the door
babe.
at 5 o'clock. On Monday, you had to meet with Goebbels. On Tuesday, von Ribbentrop. On Wednesday, Klaus Katzenjammer. Who's Klaus Katzenjammer? He's my tailor. You should see the tux, honey. You see, everyone's more important than Ava. Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Schickelgruber. You may be big stuff in Germany, but I knew you when you were just a house painter.
Thank you for showing me that, Rhys.
You're welcome.
This is why I have you on the show.
Yeah,
For moments like these.
really, I'm the Hitler of the show, right?
I didn't think we were going to get cancelled this early.
You don't know me
all
then.
prospects of this show going any further have now been squashed like a cockroach.
I just got Hitler's face just staring back at me. Oh boy, it looks like he's real upset. What were we talking about? The Nazi party.
The Nazi party and how the Nazi party led to the creation of film noir and then
Right,
to the
and then the
sitcom.
sitcom. So
sitcoms.
Hitler can be blamed for Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. Hitler can be blamed for Friends.
Bazinga.
Yeah.
Bazinga, honey, I'm home.
What's on your shirt, Adolf?
Yeah, that's a tragedy.
It sounds like it.
God, will his reign of terror never end?
Okay, we gotta move on. Okay. Let's talk about the production. So, Dr. Caligari was...
James, this is a serious podcast. We got listeners from all over the world.
I can't. I need a minute. Hang on. I need to collect myself. You've thrown my mind in a totally different direction. Rhys, should we move on to your special segment that should be consuming, what, 11 weeks?
Yeah, 11 weeks. Is the teacher calling me up to the front of the office?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's delve into an Odyssey.
Through the Odyssey.
May the wrath of Neptune descend upon you.
I am Ulysses, king of Ithaca, conqueror of Troy. There across the wide dark sea is my home. I have been making my way to them these many years, but the anger of the gods pursued me. But I am here, undestroyed.
Listeners, this is an Odyssey through the Odyssey. Christopher Nolan, if you don't know, is making a film
Who's
called
Christopher
The Odyssey.
Nolan?
Shut the fuck up, James. I'm trying to say something. The Odyssey is one of the oldest tales ever told, well, that we still know of, and most people don't know what it is. For certain, I didn't know what it was, and at the news that Christopher Nolan was putting out a full budget adaptation, I thought of this little side quest. I think we'll be doing these side quests in
More regularly.
I will be delving deep, and I mean deep, into the adaptations of the Odyssey. I've already lined out most adaptations already, and I'm slowly chipping my way through. But for these 11 weeks leading up to Christopher Nolan's release of the Odyssey, we will be delving into every single adaptation, film-wise at least. But for this week, we will be talking about the book itself, which is probably our first hurdle. Now,
How so?
every single idea you have about the Odyssey might be wrong, and it might be right. So, what do you know about the Odyssey, James?
I know very little, but I will tell you this.
Mhm.
I know it's about a man.
What is the man?
Odysseus? Is it Odysseus?
Is it Odysseus? That's question one.
Oh, okay. I know he's returning home from the Trojan War. Is
Yes.
that about right? And there's something to do with his wife. Is it Penelope?
Penelope, yeah.
Is involved in like a love triangle, or is being forced to marry someone else.
Yes.
And
yes.
all across the journey, they run into some
various monsters and
monsters,
gods and trials and tribulations.
And I'm sure, like most people, that's as far as I've ever gotten.
Right.
Yeah.
But what medium is the Odyssey?
Medium. Is this a... Well, it's...
What's a simple question, James?
Well, it's a book.
Is it a book?
Is it a...
Is it Odysseus? Who wrote it, James?
Well, Homer.
Is it Homer? When was it written, James?
Like something BC.
Is it? What I'm getting at is that basically every single main piece of information we have about the Odyssey, we don't really know. Every question, first thought questions, we don't actually fully know. Was it written by Homer? We don't know. So I'll start with that. So Homer might be a blind poet from the 8th century BCE, and he created the Odyssey. He did not write the Odyssey. So the Odyssey was built through a series of poems that were spoken to gatherings of people back in ancient Greece. So he did not write them down. These were stories he told, possibly, and other poets took them and told them and iterated on them and shifted them around until they were written down.
But he gets the credit?
But he gets the credit. But he might be multiple people. He might be one person who started it. He might not even exist. There are theories that he wrote the Iliad but not the Odyssey, or vice versa. The Odyssey is a sequel to the Iliad, Homer's other notable work. But also the time period when it was written, 8th BCE to early 7th BCE, we don't know. Because again, it was written much later, so we don't know when it was fully created, and we don't know really anything. Everything we know is conjecture. There is hypotheses, but we don't know.
It's all up in the air.
We don't know anything. We don't. A lot of the Odyssey has a lot of duplicates in it. There are multiple sections where Odysseus is on an island with big human-eating giants. There are multiple scenes where he is on an island with a loving witch of sorts. So there is a lot of overlap in many of the story that might be the same pieces, just shifted around. And there are even theories that Odysseus and Ulysses, the two main names for the heroine of the tale, might be two different people that were then combined later on. But who knows? No one really knows. Which is crazy. This is one of the oldest tales that we have, right up there with the tale of Gilgamesh and Beowulf. It is incredibly old, and yeah, might be one of our first sequels, full sequel stories. So you laid out a pretty decent idea of the tale of the Odyssey. After the 10-year Trojan War, Odysseus, one of the lead generals, and the king of Ithaca.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
There is a lot of names. A lot of fucking names in this.
I'm not going to
story.
remember any of these.
No. The king of Ithaca, after the 10-year Trojan War, has now finally won the Trojan War with his creation of the Trojan...
the
Trojan horse.
Trojan horse. Yeah, of course.
He is the person that created the Trojan horse. So Odysseus is a slippery little cunt. He is so cool but such a cunt. He
How people are going to describe you in 50,000 years, Rhys. He was so cool, that Rhys guy, but such a cunt.
He is so arrogant, and he is a huge liar and a schemer, which makes the Odyssey so cool, is that he is not truly heroic. A lot of what happens in the Odyssey is because of his failures and his arrogance.
Mhm.
So the casting of Matt Damon as Odysseus is
It's brilliant.
pretty fucking great.
That's great.
He fits it so well. But after the 10-year Trojan War, he decides, well, he tries to return back home, but along the way, a couple shenanigans happen, and he is stuck out in the Mediterranean on different islands for 10 years. Before returning home and finding that his wife, Penelope, who he left when she was 15, with their infant son Telemachus.
That all aged well.
Yeah. Well, if you find that problematic, maybe the Odyssey is not for you. So after the Trojan War, people assumed that Odysseus was dead because he was gone for another 10 years. And in that wake, many suitors went to Penelope trying to become the next king of Ithaca. I think it is 108, the primary suitor being Antinous, who I think is played by the Punisher himself.
Oh, Robert Pattinson.
Oh, is he playing Antinous? Let me see who I assumed it was. John Bernthal.
Ah, I see.
Who does John Bernthal play? That's it. Okay. He plays King Menelaus.
Yeah.
I think we've seen him in the teaser trailer.
Mhm.
But yeah, it seems that Robert Pattinson is playing Antinous, which I assumed it would be John Bernthal, because he's the head suitor, of course.
Yep.
But it kind of makes a bit more sense. So he must return home and take back his wife and kill all the suitors that wait for his wife's hand. Now, I tried to listen to the Odyssey last year, or I think the year before, around when
You've been at this for a while now.
the announcement of the
Yeah.
Odyssey came out, and I just listened to a free audiobook on YouTube, and I assume that was one of the original, more public domain translations. And holy shit, it was boring. It was so ungodly boring. For the most part, if you were to read this book I have here, The Odyssey, you would be bored out of your mind. The Odyssey, as I said, was created as a poem to be spoken to you, by firelight while you're munching away on a big meaty ham hock, or you drinking wine and smooching on slave girls. And so you need a bard who puts their own spin and their own spice on it. And so when I decided to do this, I knew I could not listen to just a bland retelling of it. So I listened to Jeff Wright's The Odyssey podcast, which is not a one-to-one accurate retelling of the Odyssey, because the Odyssey is written out of order. A lot of flashbacks, a lot of memories, and it starts in media res. But Jeff Wright goes from start to finish in chronological order. And if you were to read the Odyssey, I would highly recommend him.
Sounds like an easier way to digest it.
Yeah, because it's how it should be told to you, with, not fully accurate, but it should have some spice into it.
Yeah.
Now, the Odyssey is very dry when you read it because it needs that flourish of a human voice and a human perspective. And because most of what we have with the Odyssey is just a combining of different stories told by different people, there's a lot of fat on this steak. I compare it to Apocalypse Now, some of the director's cuts of Apocalypse Now. Imagine if your
Oof,
first watch of
yeah.
Apocalypse Now was like the 3.5 hour cut with the French,
That's a lot, man.
French home shit in
Oh,
there.
yeah.
There's a lot of fat on
Yeah.
there, and especially that is the case with the Odyssey. The last book, book 24, is horrible. It's dreadful, and anyone will tell you so, because it just is terrible for pacing. It makes no sense. Once I got to that part in the podcast, I wanted to tear my hair out because it was just infuriating that it just kept going. So a lot of the Odyssey can be cut down. So if you watch any adaptation of the Odyssey, they can be an hour and a half because so much of it can be cut. The major sticking points are so simple that they can really meld into a larger story. It is full of a lot of speeches. When you think of the Odyssey and you think of the adaptations that you have watched and consumed, how would you describe them? What genre would you describe them as?
Adventure,
Yeah,
action.
action,
Like
adventure.
when I think of, I don't know, Jason and the Argonauts,
Yeah.
that's very Odyssey.
Yeah.
I think of big action set pieces.
Well, I'll tell you, James, I think there is only 2 out and out action scenes in the Odyssey. Maybe a couple more if you stretch it, but if you're actually just reading it, there is no full action scenes like you would expect. There is the confrontation with the Cyclops. There is, running away from the giants, and then there is the big battle at the end. But besides that, there is really nothing. The action of the Odyssey is the action of customs.
That's a
Something that when reading really pissed me off, as we're 2 people on the spectrum.
Yeah.
We despise these hidden ethereal things that we must bow to in order for us to weave through the social world. Things we cannot say, things we should say, things we should say, but only in certain circumstances. It boils our blood.
It really does.
And that is the entire Odyssey, is these small cultural ideas that, if done wrong, they will cut your head off.
That sounds like a nightmare.
The greatest scenes in the Odyssey are simple dialogue exchanges. And by simple, I mean 3 sentences. As in, I say something, you say something, then I say something. And that goes on for 5 pages. Because every single word must be picked out precisely, perfectly, for the person intended, for the outcome you want, for how they will perceive it, and how they will react. So that is the big drama of most of these scenes, and that's why Odysseus is mostly because of Odysseus. He is such a talker, and he loves to lie and spin tall tales. So many of the great scenes in this are just he is set with an interaction that is very difficult. The one that stands out is when he is interacting with Nausicaa, the princess of the Phoenicians. He is marooned, beached, with nothing on him. He is completely naked after the King of the Sea kind of fucks with him for a bit. I think fucks with him for like a couple days on the ocean, but he is found on the Phoenician shores, naked. And Athena, who is the main god of the tale, sends down or sprinkles around some little helping hands to get Nausicaa down to see Odysseus. And so Odysseus is met with this interaction where he is I think a 50-year-old man who is hasn't shaved, who has grey hair, who is battered, bruised, and covered in sand, who hasn't slept in weeks, and is butt naked. And he needs to figure out a way to convince Nausicaa to get him to the king of the Phoenicians. There is a concept that is iterated 1,000 times in this book called Xenia. Now, Xenia is basically a good description of Xenia is just, if I come to your home, you will bathe me, you will feed me, you will pamper me, you will give me gifts, and only at that point, once you've done all of that, can I ask you of your name, where you are from, and who are your parents. So much of the Odyssey is around that concept.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I'm excited.
Odysseus needs to get to the king of the Phoenicians in order to ask for Xenia, so that he can get home. But in order to do that, he needs to get to the king. That's very hard if you're a naked man. So he needs to convince the princess to get him there. But there is such a stigma around men interacting with women who are not married. Men and women basically don't interact unless they are slaves or they are married, or if they're siblings. And so to see a single man with a single woman that are not, destined to be married, that is very, very, very taboo. And so he needs to get over that as well. And so that is all set out. And the exchange is literally 3 retorts back and forth. And that is like edge of your seat shit. That's probably the best part of the book to me, is just sitting on the edge of my seat going, oh my god, how the fuck is he gonna do this? This guy's he's crazy. This guy, he's gotta get out there, he's gotta do this. It's batshit. So if that is not your thing, maybe this book ain't for you.
I was gonna say, there's very few people where I could see those 3 exchanges as an on the edge.
Yeah, edge of your seat kind of stuff.
Edge of your seat.
But I think that's what makes it so interesting that Nolan will do it.
He's the right guy to tackle a book like this.
Because most of his interactions are 3 sentences, but they're so intricate in those 3 sentences.
I'm so on the edge of my seat in those moments.
Yeah, I think probably the best one example of that is the examination scene of in Oppenheimer, where Emily Blunt is being examined in the backroom trial. It's such a small scene, but it's done so well. Just a few lines really pull the tension up. The Odyssey is so fascinating. It's a book that I hate, but I also love. I don't understand it. It's so weird. You can be reading a huge section for a couple hours, be bored out of your mind because nothing's fucking happening, and then there'll just be one little sentence that just rips you apart. It's so incredible. One last note. The big problem I had,
one more
is that the gods basically do 90% of this. 90% of what
Yeah,
happens in this
that
is
doesn't
just
shock
the
me.
gods
Yeah,
doing shit.
that reads.
So anything that isn't done by the gods is mostly just Odysseus speaking to people and convincing them to do things. I could go on for years about this, but I think we'll cut it off here. The Odyssey is super complex, and we'll be delving into its early adaptations next week on An Odyssey Through the Odyssey.
Dr. Caligari was shot over only 2 months, December 1919 to January 1920, and as we established, released in February. In the original draft, Dr. Caligari represented unchecked authority, manipulating Cesare to commit murders, with the narrative culminating in the exposure and implied destruction of Caligari without any...
Well, it isn't Caligari, right? That's the play, that it isn't actually Caligari, that he is impersonating an old a man named Caligari, right?
Yeah, well, this is the original script.
Oh,
This is
my
so
apologies.
yeah, so
My
no,
apologies.
yeah. No, please apologize to the writers, not me, Rhys. This is the original script.
Right.
Director Robert. Is this Robert Wien or Robert Robert?
I'm guessing
Wine.
Robert Wine or Vine.
Yeah, it's a weird name. So yeah, director Robert Wine, possibly at the suggestion of Fritz Lang, introduced a prologue and epilogue framing the story as a take recounted by inmate Francis in an asylum, revealing him as unreliable, and the asylum director as the true Caligari. Alterations completed during production in late 1919 to shift focus from the systematic corruption to individual psychosis. The film was written by Karl Mayer and Hans Janowitz, who both encountered tragedies in their past, which would lend influence to Caligari. So yeah, the original script, the writers had a completely different outline, but it's supposedly Fritz Lang who suggested the changes, and the studio took those and forced those in.
Yeah, well, I heard that the writers were a bit green when they wrote this.
Yeah, well, so Karl Mayer, born 1894 in Austria-Hungary. He's born into a Jewish family. His father committed suicide when he was around 15 or 16 years old. Mayer picked up odd jobs to support himself and his family. He was actually homeless for a while. And then eventually he got involved in Berlin's Residence Theatre, working under stage director Eugene Roberts. Mayer transitioned to screenwriting in the post-war period. His debut screenplay was for The Woman in the Cage, a 1919 silent film that marked his initial contribution to cinema. Mayer met Hans Janowitz in 1919 at Berlin's Residence Theatre. While Janowitz handled more plot-driven elements, Mayer focused on atmosphere, tension, and character introspection. In 1927, Mayer relocated to Hollywood, California to collaborate with director F.W. Murnau. Eventually, he would spend time between England and Berlin working low-profile screenwriting jobs. But he had to flee Germany due to the rise of the Nazis.
Do you have a director from that time that you prefer? Are you more of Murnau?
I don't think I've seen enough of that time
Right.
to actually give an answer there. I mean, from what I've seen from Fritz Lang, he would be, and sure for many people, he's my who I immediately think of.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
Yeah, I've seen a bit more Fritz Lang going through the decades. I think it would be Fritz Lang. He was incredible, and especially with the transition from silent to sound.
Yeah.
I do need to see some of the Hitchcocks, the silent Hitchcocks.
I've heard they're not great.
Which I think we've had this conversation before of people bring up quotes of Hitchcock from back in the day, back in silent film days, and I'm like, that's not the guy to quote.
No.
You quote like, Frenzy and The Birds, Hitchcock. You don't
quote 30s.
Yeah, you
Hitchcock.
don't quote early early. What was the film he directed a film that he just threw out and made a whole new one. It was called like
Was this early Hitchcock?
yeah, it was called what was it called? It was called like Hawks or something. Um,
It is interesting when you watch M though. You can see these pockets of just silence. Kind
yeah,
of like
it's so good.
in Frankenstein. It's like
They just cut.
they just cut out, and
Yeah,
it's
same with
quite,
Dracula.
yeah,
Those
yeah,
early silent
Dracula, yeah,
films,
yeah.
they just don't know what to
What to fill in the
fill
gaps,
yeah,
yeah.
and how much sound they actually
It's quite
need to put
interesting
in.
seeing them figuring it out.
I think it's a lost film now. Yeah, the Mountain Eagle.
Mountain Eagle.
Which you just from the 26.
26. Wow. I always forget Hitchcock goes back like really, really far.
Yeah, I just watched a new one. I just watched because we did an interview with a rental
Yeah,
store.
Walter House.
Yeah, Auto House in Hamilton, and he recommended The Wrong Man. Wasn't amazing. Was I'm not a huge Hitchcock guy.
What year Hitchcock was this? What stage?
It's pretty late.
Talking like 60s.
Where is it? Trying to find it. Why is it not showing up?
Is it? Sorry, what film did you say?
The Wrong Man.
56.
56.
So
yeah.
yeah,
So that was
towards the
that-
later stages. Yeah.
That was just before Vertigo. It was the film before Vertigo, and it's great. But it's a bit hamstrung because it's based off a real story. But yeah, not a lot of those directors moved from silent to sound very well.
No.
I think Hitchcock and Fritz Lang are probably the best examples.
Yeah. I mean, when you think of silent directors from that era, you never think of the guy of Robert Wine.
No.
You always think of Fritz Lang.
Well, it seems that Robert
FW.
Wine was more of a for hire director.
Yeah, yeah. Well, since we're on him, let's talk about him. He was born in 1873 in Poland. Before his directing career, he studied law at University of Berlin. His first involvement with film was in 1912, writing and possibly directing Die Waffen der Jugend. In 1919, he co-founded with Heinz Hannes the Filmbund, Film Union, a professional association of Austrian filmmakers. I did watch his first movie.
Mhm.
It's pretty unremarkable.
Okay.
It's
Damn.
the entire film is
Which film was this?
Die Waffen der Jugend.
Right. Okay.
It's a 27-minute silent movie with no
No
music.
picture? No picture, no sound.
No music.
It's just
and
black. You're like, it's great, good mise en scène in this one.
Let me give you the rundown. It's a young girl. She's in boarding school and she causes havoc. She escapes. She meets some homeless guys. They have a bit of fun. Then
What kind of fun do you mean?
I don't mean it in
James?
that way.
Well, the way you phrased it, a teenage girl and two homeless men.
Well, I don't know.
Why they go to the fucking the park?
They're in like a back alley somewhere. Anyway,
Oh my god, what fun can two homeless people and a teenager have in a back alley?
the police pick
Huh?
her
They're
up.
playing fucking they're playing tic-tac-toe back there?
The police pick her up, and then that's like the end of the movie. It's pretty boring.
Wow. Well, I see your review. Let me see it. These Germans are so wacky and fun. Again, James, what fun are these people having with this teenager
I think
playing I Spy back there?
I thought it was gonna go places that were gonna be more problematic. I actually thought there was gonna be some groping involved, but they were pretty tame.
You would have wanted to go further, right?
I would
Shoot some crack up.
no.
He says
I
that,
don't-
but he means the opposite.
I don't know what those Germans are thinking. He was a prominent figure in the silent era of cinema. Upon the Nazis' rise to power in the 30s, he fled Germany. He died in Paris 10 days before the end of production of a spy film, Ultimatum, after having suffered from cancer. And again, here, again, a lot of directors from this era, Fritz Lang, Karl Freund, F.W. Murnau, they're more well known than him, because a lot of his work is kind of being uh, covered up by the films themselves.
Yeah.
You don't really know his films with his name. Yeah. Let's talk about the cinematography. On that though, I do also want to address the relationship between Hollywood and Germany at the time. So the relationship between America and the German film industry is full of technicalities. Hollywood cinematographers throughout the 20s often shunned expressionistic films due to their unique style. American cinematographer often took jabs at the popularity of German films. It was common knowledge that Hollywood cinematographers were superior. But by the mid-20s, Hollywood could no longer ignore the growing complexity and innovation of German cinematographers. Although camera movement had actually gone out of style, German filmmakers began experimenting with cranes, putting cameras on zip lines, actually bringing movement back into cinema. And eventually, in North America, they would take notice of this. And, as we know, throughout the 30s going onwards, camera movement now is it's appreciated as an art on its own in some ways. Spielberg is the master of camera movement. But it's interesting to me that at some point camera movement was kind of it wasn't really favorable by filmmakers.
Yeah, it's a pretty static film.
It is. It's
which also is not that prevalent. I think people think silent films are much more static, but this is a pretty static film, which I think is because of the budget and because of the sets. You can't really move the camera much when you have such strict shadows that are painted up and down walls. To move the camera would be to just destroy that illusion, but I think it makes it a bit dull.
It does. Well, I don't recall. Does Nosferatu have much movement?
It does. A decent amount of pans. I think that's mostly all because a lot of it was shot on location, especially the castle stuff. Was shot on location, so they had a bit more freedom to move the camera.
Actually, on that note, we watched Napoleon. That has some insane camera moves, man. And that was what,
1924?
24? Yeah. They had cameras on zip lines whipping down churches. That stuff was bonkers. The look of the film, I mean, I would say there's nothing much to say about the technical side of it, but a lot of the look of the film can be attributed to the set design, not so much the cinematographer. Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the major thing that slugs it down. I mean, the story's fine. The look is gorgeous, but it's such a stilted film that, when I said that most of the engagement you get with the film you can get from looking at the screenshots, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, you can look at this on Film Grab and you can get the entire film. You don't need to watch the actual film because the shot compositions are really static and are kind of picture book-esque.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. Well, that kind of also goes back to the act structure as well. You could
true.
You could print out a
feels like a
frame
play,
from each act, right? Yeah.
And you get the gist. And the characters just don't have anything. They don't have anything to them. Like the somnambulance, Cesare. I know it. You didn't need to tell me.
Tip of your tongue.
He doesn't do anything. Like, once he steals the girl, he just dies, right?
Yeah.
The main character, he doesn't do anything. He runs around saying some stuff.
He's insane,
I guess. His friend just dies. Like, they're in love with the girl. What happens to the girl disappears because then it turns out that it's a dream state. But it means that no one does anything because it's only what, just above 70 minutes?
It's pretty tight, pretty tight. Yeah, it's above 70 minutes. Yeah.
So really, and what, the last 20 minutes is the reveal,
yeah.
is in the asylum. So really, you're only getting 40 minutes of people doing stuff. You have to set up the some ambulance. You have to set up Caligari. You have to set up the what? There's 3 deaths.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
2 deaths and then a kidnapping. So and then there's the fake killer. And then the fucking fake doll. There's just so much in this that doesn't need to be there, and so the characters are just left out to dry. There's no characters in this outside of Caligari, who isn't a character. He's like a man who thinks he's a different man, who's actually the head of an asylum. I don't fucking know, man.
Kind of all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah, you're telling me.
yeah. The cinematographer was Willie Hameister. He, when I tell you there's nothing about this guy, there's nothing. He made a handful of movies like the Dance of Death, which has one of the coolest posters I've ever seen, and Genuine, The Tragedy of a Vampire. He died pretty young, like age 48 in 1938.
Ooh.
Yeah, he was pretty young. Yeah. But look at the poster for Dance of Death. I think it's the right movie. It's a pretty cool poster. It's kind of it's one of those posters that
just those silent films, man. They had such beautiful posters.
I bet the poster is cooler than the movie.
I weirdly, well, not weirdly, but they connect a lot to the old Atari boxes.
Right.
Because back in the day, Atari, the cover arts for those films were nowhere close to the actual film. I'll show you a couple,
like the E.T. game.
yes. I think that's the most famous one. But if you look at, say, let's pull up Buzz Aldrin Space Rainbow Tennis, and then I'll pull up a screenshot.
This reminds me of when I was young watching the Angry Video Game Nerd.
Yes.
And he would constantly put videos up, of those kinds of games, aggressively yelling at the camera saying, "This is not like the cover."
Yeah. So these are some of the box art covers.
Yeah. They're pretty cool.
They're beautiful. They're absolutely
works
gorgeous.
Of art.
The Berserker cover art is so gorgeous. Adventure. I mean, Centipede looks so pretty. Yaris's Revenge. But then you actually look at the game and they're fucking dreadful.
Have you played any Atari games?
I think so. A couple. And they look dreadful. They look so fucking ugly. They are the ugliest games you'll ever see. The famous Pac-Man Atari game is notorious. Where is... Yeah, this is Pac-Man.
It's horrendous.
Does that look like a circle to you, James? Not really.
No.
I don't think a baby would say that that's a circle.
No,
it's more of like
circular.
It's more like circular. A diamond that you dropped onto the floor. But yeah, that's probably why silent films, they have such beautiful covers, but it's because they can't really pull anything from the film itself.
No.
And that's the same with the Atari ones, that they couldn't show anything from the actual game. So they kind of had to pull
they give their artists so much freedom,
and so they're so beautiful. But then that's how they cause the big video game crash, and why we got more, got the NES covers, and the NES covers look fucking dreadful, but they look actually like the video game. Yeah. And that's the same for posters too. Like, they look so beautiful. in the silent film era.
Especially B-movie posters.
Yeah.
The
And then
actual films do not deliver.
And then you look at the Dracula poster and you're like, yeah, it's all right. It's fine. I'm actually gonna look at the original poster. I can't remember.
It's not bad. I think maybe you're
It's fine.
being a bit harsh.
I mean, it looks great, but like compare
It's iconic now.
compare the Dracula cover art poster to Dance of the Death, and it's fucking it doesn't even put up a fight.
No, well, yeah, but it's times past now, and it's it depends on what poster you're looking at, I suppose. There's some other pretty cool ones, but yeah, I see I see your point. Yeah, I mean, hell, looking behind me at Tarantula.
That's a great poster.
It's a great poster, but
that is true. That is true.
That's not at all what the movie's. I don't think the movie's going to live up to that.
No,
Or maybe
I don't think so.
I haven't watched Tarantula. Maybe it will. Let's talk about the cast.
Sure.
We're gonna get pretty problematic here.
Woohoo!
Werner Krauss plays Dr. Caligari.
Mhm.
He started out in theater and pursued working in cinema after his discharge from the Navy in 1916. An unsympathetic and unapologetic anti-Semite. Krauss.
Yes. That's what we'd like to see, baby.
Krauss was a keen supporter of the Nazi Party and his ideology, becoming a friend of German propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels. Goebbels appointed Krauss as president of the Reich Chamber of Culture Theater Department. He was officially regarded as a cultural ambassador of Nazi Germany by Adolf Hitler.
What a man.
What a story. But a little glimmering light of hope.
Oh.
Konrad Wirtz, who plays Cesare, he actually has the most fascinating background out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of only 2 stars of the film who later escaped the Nazis and found work in Hollywood. Hans Heinrich von Twardowski, who plays Alan, fled because he was gay, and Wirt fled because his new wife, Iona Praga, was Jewish. Wirt gave a huge chunk of his fortune to Great Britain to help the war effort and fled to England with his bride 1 week after their marriage in 1933. In 1941, he and his wife moved to Hollywood to help with the British effort and make anti-Nazi films. He actually had a clause in his contract specifying he could only play villains so that nobody, saw him as, as a Nazi.
Right.
He wanted to, he didn't want anyone to think he supported such a foul ideology. Lil Dagover, although she had no formal training in acting, she appeared in her first film in the 1910s. She worked with Fritz Lang and then starred in The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, of course. Although Hitler did see her as one of his favorite actresses. I don't think there's any ties between her and Hitler.
No.
She just kind of had to
Well, yeah, that's on
keep
Hitler.
her head down, act, and she actually went on to have a pretty cool career in the 50s. I don't think she actually had any ties to Hitler. Yeah, but there's like the cast. That's pretty. Again,
Pretty
they're
standard.
pretty standard. They're
I don't think
movies
there'll
are-
be any different
No.
with any of these coming films.
Dr. Caligari is most of their biggest work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Set design. So Herman Warm was in charge of the art design and believed a highly stylistic look would be perfect for the themes of the story. He and his fellow designers, Walter Reinman and Walter Robring, decided that the radical new expressionism would be perfect and got permission to make their sets as fantastically bizarre as possible. The studio thought that this could help draw audiences and also make the film distinct from Hollywood productions as well. They used paper, canvas, and paint used for the scenery, and they were forced into like a somewhat small studio to bring all this together. Some sets played with perspectives, such as the scene where Cesare appears to be standing on a rooftop, or the early scenes where small, strategically placed merry-go-rounds give the illusion of a busy carnival. Interestingly, much of the radical design choices were down to budget constraints because of the war, so that was
This
the
damn
biggest
war.
the damn war.
What is it taken from us?
We did mention this earlier. So title designs, so typography and silent era filmmaking, plainly list cast and crew with intertitles used to convey dialogue between characters as well as a narrative or descriptive information in the absence of synchronous sound. Whether it was the title sequence or the title cards, the key for early title designers was clarity and readability for the audience. Caligari took an unconventional approach, creating text with sharp, jagged lines. Unfortunately, we do not know who created the typography for Caligari, although, as mentioned earlier, Catherine Hilker designed the text for the North American cut in 1921. So, and again, just looks boring. No hate to her. It's just,
Damn, man,
it's just
what
bland.
the fuck? Okay, you do better then.
Maybe I will in my After Effects. I probably could now in After Effects.
That's the thing, is that so much of the techniques in this film you can recreate with a couple of YouTube tutorials, but it won't be as good.
No.
Nowhere close as good.
Look, my respect to them. I couldn't do that in 1920.
Well,
I don't have the artistic ability.
That's the interesting part of technology, is that it makes it so easy to do what was impossible before, and yet there's still that missing factor, which I dare say is soul and artistic intent. So yeah, you could totally recreate shot for shot Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, with better techniques and flashier cameras and more crazy angles. But unless you're a better artist, I don't think you're gonna beat it.
You don't really have a leg to stand on.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you've done the same thing in high school. You look up a tutorial. I want to recreate the, I don't know, Evil Dead title.
Yeah.
So you look up an After Effects tutorial, you copy it exactly, and it's great. Great.
That was really the point of Gus Van Sant Psycho. Have you watched the Psycho remake, which was hated when it came out, but really is kind of just a test in a way. Gus Van Sant was very into the idea of finding the missing element of recreating a film. So he recreated Psycho shot for shot. And he only added like two little shots of Vince Vaughn jacking off while looking through the peephole. And it's
couldn't help himself.
The original Psycho's so much better, and I think that's the whole point Gus Van Sant was trying to do, was that it was just like an experiment, a very, very expensive experiment.
It's an interesting experiment.
Yeah, that he got through the blank check of doing Good Will Hunting. But I think that just shows that it's so hard to put your finger on what makes a film interesting, and especially when we have such a technology divide between back in the 20s and now. You could fucking kick their asses, kick Fritz Lang's ass with the technology we have now. You can shoot in the fucking dark with the cameras we got. But you probably won't be as good as Fritz Lang.
There's no soul there,
Yeah, and even Gus Van Sant's a great director. He couldn't touch Alfred Hitchcock's
one of the greats.
Psycho.
Yeah. Well, we have Metropolis here. Why would I try and
but
readapt
that's also interesting, because they readapted Metropolis. They did an animated version of that. I've only seen a bit of it, but I've heard it's pretty good, because that's a whole different medium and a whole different culture. And I think that's what you need to do.
That's interesting, adapting to animation though,
right?
Yeah. now that we have the Disney live action remakes, we're adapting those from animation. There's kind of uh, there's something missing there. We're not seeing.
Yeah,
We're not animals aren't
the Disney
emoting.
animated films.
Yeah, they're trying to make these realistic.
basically the same.
Yeah,
Because people have floated the idea of a remake of Caligari.
well, they have remade Caligari.
Have they?
Well, to varying degrees.
Yes, but like not a film
one-to-one,
called
yeah.
The Cabinet of Dr.
Yeah.
Caligari, but people have thought of that idea. I think as much as a possible remake of Possession.
Yeah.
Like people want to do it, and they keep floating around. Oh, I'll do it. Zemeckis will do it, or this guy will do it, and this cast will do it. And I'm like, oh fuck, man, I'll believe it when I'm actually in the theater with a ticket stub in my hand. Even then, I might not believe it.
It's the same as Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
When I see an on-set image.
Not even that. I'll believe it when I have already watched it. Maybe even then I'll feel I'm
second guess myself.
I'm in an asylum and a dreaming it.
You in a dream?
And I hope so.
I'm Caligari.
I just recorded myself saying that I am the Hitler of the show. The show. I hope to God that I'm dreaming. That I'm slightly sick and I'm in a fever dream.
Let's talk about the reception. So Caligari premiered in Berlin, 26th of February, 1920, and was a fairly successful release in Germany. I can't figure out how much this actually made because there was a re-release in 2014. But
2 Nazi coins.
Yeah. Box Office Mojo
Maybe
was
3.
hopeless.
So they haven't had a re-release?
It was 2014.
2014,
Yeah.
Can I guess?
I don't actually have it in front of me, but guess.
God,
Go
okay.
ahead and guess. Go ahead and guess.
2014, how big was the release? Was this like worldwide? What are we talking?
I believe it was worldwide.
Okay.
It wasn't huge. I vaguely remember the number.
Because back then re-releases weren't that big. Nowadays, like I think when they re-released Revenge of the Sith last year, that was like one of the top 50 movies of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But re-releases weren't that huge back then. I'm gonna guess 4 million.
4 million?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, no. I take it back. It was a domestic re-release. Sorry. Guess again.
Well, domestic as in America, not Germany.
I don't know. This.
Okay. I think for what box office they count America as domestic.
Yeah.
2 million?
No.
How many screens does it say? 4.
Who knows?
Someone's basement.
I don't know. There's very vague information.
Okay, tell me.
I'll spare you the pain. It made $8,811. Yeah. And
are we sure this wasn't just like in someone's basement?
I don't know.
Like Robert Zemeckis had like a special screening.
There's very vague
Egyptian,
very vague information out there. Who knows?
I wonder when the last time it was re-released.
2014.
Really?
That's what it tells me.
That's the last time.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. They actually pushed it with a mysterious marketing campaign where posters and ads proclaimed "You must become Caligari."
That's probably why it made 8,000.
Are you spooked?
I'm horny.
Yeah.
He's a sexy man. Him
not what I
and
was
his Mickey
expecting.
Mouse gloves.
A number of German
Put me on that spit roast, baby.
A number of German critics disliked the film for various reasons. Many people in the US had negative responses.
The woke media, you mean, James?
The woke media had negative responses. Not only because it was so stylistically different, but because it was still not long after the war and anti-German sentiment still ran high. Some theaters had to pull screenings because of protests. However, many people in the US loved the film. And it actually did well in France.
Yeah,
there you go. That goes out to the French.
Fucking cheese eaters.
Perhaps more important is, of course, the long-lasting impact it had on cinema and horror, noir, avant-garde, innovating a new visual technique and psychologically bending storytelling. The Guardian, I found an article from The Guardian here. 3rd of November 1923, 3 years after its
Oh,
release.
okay.
Caligari is an almost flawless picture. Technically, the work of 5 years has not outdistanced it. 5 years? I don't know. Outdistanced it, nor even equaled it. Ween knows so well how to paint with light and shadow, how to produce half-tones and quarter-tones, and to converge his rays of light upon the dominant figures, leaving the rest of the picture indeterminate.
Yeah, I agree. It feels like a storybook. I think that's what they're trying to paint with that review. It is a real great storybook, for good and for ill.
Yeah. June 3rd, 2009, Roger Ebert reviewed the film.
Is it Roger Ebert or is it RogerEbert.com?
It's Roger Ebert.
Okay.
It is Roger Ebert. He scored it a 4 out of 4. He writes, "A case can be made that Caligari was the first true horror film. There had been earlier ghost stories and the eerie serial Phantomus, made in 1913 to 14, but the characters were inhabiting a recognizable world. Caligari creates a mindscape, a subjective psychological fantasy. In this world, unspeakable horror becomes possible."
True. Yeah. I agree with that.
Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, 4 out of 4, that's pretty...
I really trust Roger Ebert's actual reviews. I like to listen to his words a bit more. Yeah, I'm a fan of his, but I don't think I've ever been like, fuck, I'm not gonna watch this movie. He gave it a 2 out of 4. Because most of the time it's like, turns out to be Jaws or something like that. He's got such a bizarre taste, that man.
If I read a Ebert review, I'm not looking at his rating.
Yeah, no,
I'm
why would
looking
you?
at the
Why would you?
words. I don't care much for his rating
I
system.
think most of the reviews I've seen of his were from his show with Siskel.
It's a great show.
And I think their reviews are thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably a great way to review movies, in the sense of go watch them now. But yeah, the actual 4-star rating, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I don't think he really gave a shit either.
It's not really relevant, yeah. But yeah, I had to pull an Ebert review because it's so hard, again, to find reviews from
Well, yeah,
this
because you
era.
can't speak German.
Well, when the film made its way over like, England, the States, those are the reviews I'm looking at.
I wonder if this film has ever been screened in New Zealand. I'm guessing it has.
Pretty sure it has.
I'm guessing it would be at Academy or Hollywood.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I feel pretty comfortable saying it has.
But yeah, has it been screened in multiple theaters at the same time? Do you think it's been in?
No, I don't.
No,
I think it's been like a limited release
thing,
thing, right? Or in a marathon,
special screening,
perhaps.
marathons. I don't think this has been re-released.
No, I highly doubt it.
Which is really bizarre.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing. Well, I don't know if it's public domain, is it?
Mm-hmm.
If it's public domain, then I don't know. Maybe
I think public domain runs till. Let me see. I think it's 72. Because the coconuts just came in. The coconuts. 1929 is the current copyright-free year, so next year will be 1930.
Right. Okay.
Which is pretty cool, because I think the year after that is actually, let's see, 1930. All Quiet on the Western Front's coming.
That's cool.
It's gonna be free. Hell's Angels. Not a huge amount in 1930. But then 1931 is going to be Frankenstein and Dracula and
That's exciting.
And City Lights and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Public Enemy, Lament, Taboo, more Marx Brothers. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
That's exciting.
That's exciting to see. Dracula and Frankenstein, which is, I think, the reason why they did the re-release this year. So that they could get a bit more money before it went to public. That's really cool that Frankenstein's going to be in public domain. I mean, he already is. He's a book.
Yeah.
He's a fucking book. He's like he's the oldest sci-fi book ever written.
Anyone can really take it. And
But yeah, Caligari for
Take the
sure
idea. Yeah.
it's been in the public domain for 9 years.
Oh, wow.
If my math is correct.
Let's talk about some remakes.
Yep.
We have many attempts to adapt Caligari, all very bizarre approaches. In 1962, a film by the name, and I'll get you to look up the trailer for this. You should watch it. It's called The Cabinet of Caligari. Was released, written by Robert Bloch, who did Psycho. This film looks really fascinating.
The Cabinet.
I mean, it's basically just Psycho with a little sprinkle of elements from Dr. Caligari.
Okay, I'm pulling up the trailer now. Getting some exercise equipment ads. Beautiful, beautiful. Do you want me to put in the sound? Yeah.
Stop!
Ah!
Stop!
Okay, I will.
You can't escape this shattering emotional experience that takes its place with the screen's most distinguished classics, that dares explore uncharted realms of exciting wizardry, that will ignite a storm of controversy with its strength and candor.
No more!
First let a man make love to you. Next, who was he? Next, how did you feel at the time? Next, how did you feel afterward? What did you feel? What did you think? Were you pleased, frightened, ecstatic, disgusted? What did he say? What words did you speak? That's what I want to know. Now, tell me. Now, all of it.
Robert Bloch, author of Psycho, creates a new masterpiece of suspense, The Cabinet of Caligari. Starring Glynis Johns, a girl alone in a house of terror. And Dan O'Hurley as Caligari.
Spying, peeping, it's cowardly vicious. I was completely vulnerable in my bath.
My bath. My house.
He's got a point.
Does this not look like the greatest movie?
Yes!
Well,
ever?
I am currently shitting myself. It's so scary.
Yeah.
Um, I'll need about 20 minutes to
Psycho
clean
had
up.
it. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde had it. Rebecca had
I
it.
forgot this movie existed,
Now
and
the
I was
Cabinet of
going to
Caligari
watch
brings
this.
What is this, man? What the fuck is
Shocking
this?
impact to the screen.
Ooh, some kinky shit happening.
The end of this trailer is just screen grabs.
Yes.
It's really bizarre.
Yeah, it feels like it's lagging.
Yeah,
Tell me.
for the listeners, it's black
What are
and
you
white,
feeling? Tell me.
high
now,
contrast.
now.
It
Look
just
at
looks
me.
like Psycho.
What does it feel like not to have any feeling? Go ahead. Look at me. I wish the whole house were here, all of them, not to see me, to see you.
You may loathe him, acclaim him, accept him, reject him. But you'll talk about Caligari for months to come.
Wow. Can you also shit yourself?
I shat myself multiple times.
Damn, James, that's just disgusting.
1989, Dr. Caligari was released, which is heavily inspired by the 1920 film, and its director is known for adult filmmaking.
Oh, so we actually find out if the somambulance can get an erection.
Look up right now, Dr. Caligari.
I don't want to. I don't want to. James, please don't. Don't make me.
Look up Dr. Caligari.
Fuck's sake.
1989.
Oh my god. This is just porn.
No, this is actually a movie.
I wish it was just porn.
This is not an adult movie.
Okay, I'll put it on my goddamn watch list. God damn it.
2005. You probably know about this one.
Wait, let me guess. This one's called The Cabinet.
We've
removed every other word. The Doctor. The cabinet. The Doctor's Cabinet.
2005 remake of the original film shot entirely on green screen. Some Some exact shots from the 1920 film were superimposed to properly replicate the
Oh
original.
my god. What is that one called?
I think it's just called The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Fuck's sake.
Look it up.
I'll fucking find it later. I don't care. This world has become too much for me.
But that so far those are all the adaptations from the 60s, the 2000s. But
fuck, this looks dreadful.
Yeah. It's like they actually took shots from the movie and superimposed them.
Well, it's on Prime, so maybe I'll give it a watch. I don't know. Hey, it's got Doug Jones in it. I like Doug Jones.
It's a cool guy. But that concludes everything I have on the cabinets of Dr. Caligari, Rhys.
What was in his cabinet? Did we ever find out what was in his cabinet?
Well, he had a bunch of books.
So was that the cabinet, or was the cabinet the box that the ambulance was in?
I don't know.
Who was named
Cesare.
Well, I don't know why you keep interrupting me.
It's on the tip of your tongue.
I know his name. So was that the cabinet, or was the cabinet the one that he had his diary in?
I don't know.
But then also, he's not Caligari, because he's copying another guy who's called Caligari.
He is also Caligari.
Is he?
I think he is.
What do you mean by that?
Well, he's
that's the stupidest thing that they put in the movie.
He's called the what's his other name?
Let's see.
God, the director? Is that his other name?
Dr. Olson, I think.
No, I think they call him the director.
Yeah, or
yeah. So he's the director, but he's also.
But yeah, so it's
Caligari.
revealed that he's not Caligari, because he goes and he's like, "Where's Caligari?" And they're like, "I don't know who a Caligari is." And then he looks in the books, and it turns out there's a old killer from back in the day,
like 1700s,
that he's copying. Who is this Caligari? And again, what is his cabinet? He's got fucking sugar and spice in there. He's gonna make a goddamn cake. What is in this goddamn cabinet? Because it can't be the box he's put in the guy in, because that's not a cabinet. Would you call that a cabinet?
No.
Why would you put a guy in a cabinet? Truly, I have become mad. This film really makes you feel like like a somnambulance.
I too was
unconscious. Too was mad once. Spit roasted while peeing in a bucket. Would you ever watch this film again? Like,
I did.
No. Fuck's sake, James. You gotta listen to me. You gotta fucking turn on your ears at some point. This is a podcast. It's a tango. 2 people. Fuck, mate.
My sincerest apology.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt, James.
As I was saying, Rhys.
So, would you sit down, throw your phone into the next door neighbor's yard,
crazy,
lock the doors, turn off the lights, turn on your 70-inch TV, 4K, and be like, "Man, Caligari, let's go, man, let's YouTube.com." Type out the cabinet of Dr. Caligari 1 letter at a time, and find one of 7 rips. And sit there. Don't speed it up. Don't look away. Look at the screen and watch it. All 77 minutes of it.
My answer is 9.
You'd watch it 9 times.
No, I would not. But
okay, I think I would.
You would? Yeah.
I just don't think you like movies, James.
Well, I wouldn't watch it.
I don't know.
Over another film like Nosferatu.
I would watch it if I was making something adjacent to silent films, or
like
I was showing
Tim Burton-esque production.
Or if I was showing someone the film, or they had a re-release. But on an average day, I am not gonna rewatch this. I would probably watch reviews of it. That would get me the satisfaction.
I would listen to a podcast about it.
a podcast that's longer.
Than the movie itself?
Yeah, I'm gonna guess this this podcast is 30 minutes longer than the film.
I'm sure it will be. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, sure, there's a lot to be appreciated from it. The expressionistic sets,
I have definitely watched worse silent films.
yeah.
Um,
For example, Robert Vine's first film.
what were they doing in that?
What were they doing?
What were they doing
that?
with that little kid?
What were they doing? I wonder. Yeah.
If someone came to you and they had not watched a silent film, would this be the silent film you showed them?
I would probably tell them to watch something. So, silent movies, you get short 70-minute films
Mhm.
like this, or Nosferatu, or you've got a big
epics like
a bit,
Napoleon.
Fritz Lang only does
Metropolis.
big epic silence, Metro. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably suggest something like this,
I
and
think
then
so.
get into Fritz Lang, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fritz Lang, I think, is the exit out of silent films, but I think this would be the silent film to show them.
Yeah.
Maybe Nosferatu. I think Nosferatu, because you're already grounded.
Yeah.
You already know the story of Dracula, and you already probably know a bit of Nosferatu himself. But if not Nosferatu, Caligari is probably the way to start.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it shows all the benefits of silent films and also all the pitfalls of silent films. It's a medium that is purely visuals. It is the cinematic medium. I'm trying to remember the Denis Villeneuve. He had a quote about basically how much he hates dialogue in movies. And I think this is what he means, is that you watch Caligari, the dialogue doesn't matter, the story doesn't matter, really everything outside of the visuals don't matter. And that's where you're getting all your nourishment. And I think that really shows the what makes cinema, what separates cinema from other mediums like music and games, comics, that it is moving images.
Yeah. A lot of a lot of filmmakers struggled to adapt to sound as well,
Yeah.
like there's a lot of
actors and directors,
screenwriters especially, really struggled. I know that these
technological wise and story wise, they're real. I mean, Singing in the Rain is all about that switch.
But it's fascinating at its roots. Filmmaking is a purely visual,
started fully as a visual medium, nothing else.
And because of films like this is a beautiful encapsulation of that.
We forget that sometimes. I think definitely me, someone who doesn't really care about the visuals, we forget that some of the time because movies have moved so far away from it. But it's been just slightly over 100 years since this film, and probably 120 years since film as a medium.
Yeah, a bit longer than that. Yeah, better.
So and silent films went out in the early 30s. So you really only have 30 years of silent films.
Many of them are short as well. Yeah, so
very short. So the medium of film was so young in comparison to every other medium. I think the only medium that beats it would be games, maybe comics. Depends how you interpret comics.
probably
but I
games
think,
though.
I think games would be the only medium that actually are younger than film.
Yeah,
which is weird and mental because music and books are so ungodly old.
So old, thousands.
I mean, yeah,
thousands of years. Yeah,
but yeah, it really puts it into perspective.
Yeah, I think that's a
good way to end it.
Great way to end it. Let's get on to.
Oh, sorry. No,
I was going to say let's move on to our segments.
Yes, segments, please.
Should we start with modern era remake?
You don't need it. You don't fucking need it. I don't know. Why would you bother?
I was thinking about this.
Who would you get?
I would love to.
I want current Tim Burton.
I would love to see a Robert Eggers joint. I want to I want to
No.
know. I see. I want
I don't
to.
want that. I don't want that. He's fine. He doesn't need this.
Oh, but we've had Nosferatu. I want to bring him back. I want to bring the gang back. And I want him to attempt Caligari.
Nah, we don't need that. We don't need that. He's already done it, and he's doing it again with Wolf. A bit later, so the early 40s. Pushing the universal monsters. No, we don't. Yeah, we don't need it.
You're like, no, leave my
Just who cares?
leave my Caligari alone.
Who's gonna rush to the theater? Because Nosferatu,
You are.
people. No,
You will.
I will.
You will.
I
will.
will.
I will.
I will.
Not just the horror community. Everyone will show out.
No, that's a bit of an exaggeration. Nosferatu is huge, but that's because people know what Nosferatu is. Who the fuck knows what the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is?
I don't know. Maybe you
outside of losers like us.
I don't know. I think it's a pretty common name. So, like, if you bring up Dr. Caligari, everyone has at some point heard of the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
On Letterboxd right now, it has 356,000 views. That's like nothing for to bring in that audience. Let's see what Nosferatu has.
Yeah, let's see.
Nosferatu has double that. There's 600,000 logs. I just don't think there's an audience for that, unless you.
I disagree. I disagree. I believe there is an audience here. I certainly think the name itself doesn't hold as much weight as Nosferatu. Of course, it's not as commonly known, but I believe.
I just think you're a sucker for capitalism, James. You're a schmuck. If anyone were to remake this, I think it would be a Guillermo del Toro.
I think eventually, when Tim Burton's given another blank check, he's just going to make this movie at some point.
Maybe
he's going to readapt it. He's going to bring back whoever who plays Jack Sparrow.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. He's going to bring back Johnny Depp. He's going to be like Cesare or some shit. We're gonna, I don't know, throw whoever
Lily
in
Rose
there.
Depp in there.
Lily
yeah.
Rose Depp. I don't know. But Willem Dafoe's Caligari.
I think anyone who wants to adapt this film is going to be such an old head.
Yeah.
Because these films were really big in the 90s and the 80s. The directors that came from that era really loved these films because they finally got into the hands of people through VHS. But now, if you're a director out there and you're like, fuck man, I'm chomping at the bit to do a remake of Caligari, I'm like, you gotta watch some more movies, man. You gotta watch. You don't have enough like a catalog to pull from, because the people who want to remake this would be like why am I forgetting his name?
Eggers?
No, why am I forgetting Scott Pilgrim director.
What's his name again?
Edgar Wright, yeah.
Edgar Wright.
I was getting
yeah.
confused with the Edgars. Would be the 90s directors, the Edgar Wrights, the not so much the Tarantinos, but that kind of new Hollywood directors.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't necessarily see any aside from Eggers any new wave horror filmmakers wanting to because we've already dissected it and pulled all the elements from it.
The directors that would want this would be the DVD rental, the blockbuster directors. That had access to these films. I don't see it. I think I was being a bit exaggerating. I would be there.
You would, of course you would.
It would be
We'd all
interesting.
Be there. Yeah.
I think you're right. But why? Just why?
Well, there is no why.
Maybe to see this style in but Burton just does it. If you want to see this style, just see a Burton film. Yeah, like when most Burton films do this look. Beetlejuice, basically all the stuff in
Yeah.
Hell look like this, 1-to-1.
I suppose a lot of those are very exaggerated comedies as well, whereas this is
True.
a pretty direct
Yeah, that's true.
psychological horror.
Edward
So,
Scissorhands was a bit spooky.
Yeah, it was. But I don't think,
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
you know,
An out-and-out horror set in this style.
I'm sure there's many people who haven't yet been introduced to Tim Burton's earlier work, so perhaps this
Yeah.
would lead a way for them entering into his filmography too. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I would show up for.
Yeah,
I
well,
would
we
show up
would
for
show
this.
up for fucking anything.
Yeah.
Is there a 4K of this?
Yes, I
It is
believe there
there?
is.
Wow.
I want to say there is. I think I saw a 4K review. 4K. Yeah, there is a 4K Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Done by Kino Classics in, I think, Eureka?
Yeah. Would you buy the 4K?
No. No, of course not. I can get it on YouTube. I don't need that.
If it was on the shelves of JB and it was like a Christmas Boxing Day sale, I would pick it up. I'll add it to my collection.
Sure, yeah.
I've had lesser
I would
films
not.
in my collection.
Haxan and Nosferatu are probably the only out-and-out silent films that are more than 4Ks of.
Mhm.
We went at that rental house. I gave you Haxan.
I can't wait
That's
to
a
watch it.
beautiful copy of Haxan.
I'm gonna watch that one on the big screen.
That's a great film in 4K, but yeah, I don't think so. Most silent films I would need to love in order
Yeah.
to get them in 4K.
I would pick up Napoleon, Metropolis.
Yeah. Joan of Arc. I'd get Joan of
Mhm.
Arc. Passion of Joan of Arc.
I'd pick up M, you know?
That's true. That's true. Well, we've had this talk before where, you hype up a specific genre or a region or time of film, and you're like, wow, why are these films so great? And, these other films, modern films, not as great. And then
Mhm.
you realize, oh, the only films I've watched from that specific era are the greatest, most
Yeah.
iconic films. I think we've said this about South Korean films. We're like, South Korean films, so amazing. And then I looked, and I'm like, fuck, I've seen 5 South Korean films, and they're, they're the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
Of course, these are the most incredible films I've ever seen. They are the only films I've ever seen.
They're in the Criterion collection. That's
And
Yeah.
that's the case for most
Yeah.
people who've watched silent films. Is the only silent films you've watched are the most iconic
Yeah.
films, and the films that have survived.
Mhm.
Naturally,
a lot of these films have been
having
lost.
survived the burnings of the negatives
Yeah.
and the combustions of the negatives.
Man, this baby was shot on some combustible shit.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
to be films that have multiple copies that
Yeah.
people liked enough to share and spread and talk about and remember. If a film isn't remembered, they're probably not going to go hunting for it.
I'm sure there's some shots from Dr. Caligari where they struggled to get a reasonable print for 4K.
Yeah.
I struggle to believe every
They have any
frame.
negatives.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, most of the 4Ks for silent films are just taken from prints that aren't masters. There's no way. There's
Definitely,
negatives.
yeah.
No way.
No.
Should we end it off with our last
favorite? And let me guess, this involves the MCU Christmas special.
I think it has to. So 6 Degree of Kevin Bacon. I remembered, because we haven't done this in a bit, because we've been doing the first features.
Yeah.
And
We're back. We're
I
back,
remembered
baby.
I was driving here, and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to get 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. I have to connect Kevin Bacon to the cabinet of Dr. Caligari. And I was shitting myself. So through the episode, I've been trying to find my way, because I don't think. Can you think of a way to get there just off the top of your head?
I think you would have to go through the director. Oh, actually, no. You'd have to go through Lil Dagover, connect to Fritz Lang.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
where
you
I
have to
started.
go through Fritz Lang, right?
So I started with Eric Palmer,
Oh, okay.
the producer who produced Metropolis. Because I don't think Fritz Lang is credited on anything, even though I think he assisted with some of the drafts.
Yeah.
And then from Fritz Lang, we'll go to The Big Heat. Probably my favorite Fritz Lang. You've watched The Big Heat. It's great. It's great.
I think
though.
my favorite's
They're
Metropolis.
all great.
It's where do how do you stack them up against one another?
Mabuzu's M, Metropolis, The Big Heat. They're just so great. But yeah, I'll go for The Big Heat. Then I go through trying to find who it was exactly. Oh, don't tell me I lost it. I go through Janet Nolan, who I don't think plays anyone. Bertha Duncan, I don't know who that is in the film. Who was a voice in Fox and the Hound. She plays Widow Tweed. I haven't watched the Fox and the Hound since I was like 5. And then from Fox and the Hound, you get to Kurt Russell, who I think played the dog, Cooper. I don't know. And from that, Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Of course.
And from Guardians of the Galaxy 2, we go to James Gunn. And then from James Gunn, we go to the Christmas special, which had Kevin Bacon. So I'll repeat that. Kevin Bacon, Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, James Gunn, Kurt Russell, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, to Fox and the Hound, to Janet Nolan, to The Big Heat, to Fritz Lang, to Eric Palmer, who produced The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. How many is that? That's probably like fucking 20. I don't know. I did my best.
That's remarkable.
Yeah. I should ban. I think next episode we'll ban
The MCU.
The MCU.
They're not allowed.
They're not allowed.
You heard it here first. Tonight's second feature's banning the MCU.
I'll prepare next time. Because I didn't get time to prepare, so I was struggling to find.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you like? I mean, the next films hopefully are.
Any guesses?
No, because I know you don't even know.
I know. No. I know.
Oh, you know now.
Well, I have films floating in the ether.
Right.
Yeah,
But you didn't know when we were going to record.
I've been thinking. Any guesses for the genre? Because we may not necessarily be doing direct horror. You know.
Yeah.
Might be a little sci-fi, adventure.
I'm gonna guess it's a drama.
Isn't every film?
Shut the fuck up and just tell me. Is it a drama?
Who knows?
Fuck you.
Well,
you can't posit the question and then be like.
Our next episode will be Mother Mary and Obsession.
Yes, which I'm going to go see right now.
And I am gonna go serve some rich pricks.
Me, my rich prick. Okay, well, from us at the second office, we've been the Second Boys. This has been tonight's second feature, and Hull, honey, I'm home.